We are live. It's still going on OBS because it started differently. Hold on, give me a second. Hey, girl, here I am. Here we are. Sorry, we're late because I'm a mess, and it's what happens. But I am joined by Catherine as always, and yes, and we're doing the road to Paris.
So
Yes,
we figured since lots of the big federations in the United States is going to be covered by a lot of people for the next year, that we'd sort of dip into everyone else too.
everyone else, and it's a lot.
So
It's a
we're going
lot
to
of
try
people.
and be good. But we should start out with the big news of the day. Do you want me to just
Yeah.
read her announcement?
So the big news of the day: Klaus ate all his food. Oh, not that one. My bad.
No, no,
Oh, Gadarova. Yeah, go for it.
unfortunately not.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Uh, Jessica Gadarova posted on Instagram with a sad picture of her sitting by a beam, which is the genre of injury announcements. As most of you are aware, I withdrew from the remainder of the World Championships due to a knee injury. This has resulted in being a full tear of my ACL. It happened on Friday evening just before coming out to compete in the all-around final. It was a freak accident performing a gymnastics prep, not one of my competition skills. I'm still taking time to process this myself, and I know it's going to be tough and a long journey ahead. At this point, I don't know for sure how long, but I'll be doing everything I can with the support of those around me to return to the sport I love as soon as I can. I would like to thank everyone and their ongoing support and love. Jess.
I'm not crying. I just put on my contacts and my eyes are watering, but it looks like I'm crying, so it's fitting.
I
It's
I think we should talk about what ACL recovery is generally, which is a year. And there's sort of lots of people flying around with, well, so and so did it this amount in Arthur DeLeon. Arthur Russian's name has been invoked, even though he didn't even have an
Delaloyan.
ACL injury. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a year is probably what she's looking at. She might be able to do bars and beam earlier than that, but that's unlikely.
As someone who has torn his ACL, there's been a lot of advancements since I tore mine, and since modern medicine is amazing. Um, Famously, Leo Mustafina tore hers, and she then became the most decorated gymnast in London. I'm not saying that that's
But she
Jess's
had a lot more
trajectory.
time.
Yeah,
She had a lot
she
more
did.
time too.
Hold on, mom. Give me tacos right now. Oh, no, reach. Yes. Oh, no, the sauces. I got tacos. No, class. They're my tacos. Sorry, my
Um,
mom brought me tacos.
so the I would talk about the we're to catch this. I know Castic said that she was of a vault in that sort of landing prep, but I just want to emphasize this was probably coming because this is a wear and tear injury.
Yeah, so what Jessica said on Gymcastic BTS was that, not the band, but like they're back behind the scenes, was that she was doing routines off the vault in the practice gym, to get the landing, in her body, warmed up, and she finished doing that. She hopped off the vault table and she felt something pop on her knee, and that's when she pulled
But
out of the all around.
that's probably not what did the damage overall,
Yeah.
because it was probably just a cumulative effect of twisting skills, and the chain crash probably did not help.
Although I will just to play devil's advocate, and just ACL tears happen at any moment. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like it can
Oh
just
yeah,
come in the skin.
you can tear them like I know people who've torn them catastrophically. I'm just suggesting that
Careless.
jumping off the vault is probably not it.
And it's the most gymnast thing to do to like bust something without actually doing gymnastics.
I falling, breaking your foot, celebrating NCAA style.
or walking even through campus.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we will talk a little bit more about the like ramifications of this once we get to the British team. But
Yes.
I sort of organized this in country alphabetical order just so that we wouldn't be prioritizing like some people over others. So why don't we start with Neymar's all around bars, since we'll start with a like
Yes.
uh and that's the start of the list.
Okay. So
So this was the all around bars. It was the highest bar score at Worlds. It
it's right here.
Shishi Schwann's uneven bars event medal was 1/10 behind this, so they're neck and neck.
The lower thirds, please.
We're very proud of your lower thirds.
Thank you. I'm not crying. I just have contacts in.
Are they seeing this on Twitch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just really far behind. So she missed her some connections in the qualification. Her handstands are, a little
Chaotic.
sometimes. But I think that she and Shishi Swan are really in
Neck and
that
neck.
battle for the bars, and I don't know that I would predict one or the other.
I mean, there is an agent of chaos that might actually surprise them, and that is, Olympic all around champion Gabby Douglas.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I want to wait until we see Gabby do something. She's like been. Can we? Yeah, not jump into that one yet.
And Suni Lee.
Yeah, and I think that the answer is I want to see them actually do a bars routine before I like put them in the race with Shishi Swan and Neymar, because they have actually done things in this quad.
And Kiss Kidneys. Now, Kaylee Neemore. Catherine, you're a robot. Danger, Will Robertson. Danger.
So, I mean, I mean, they're not quite. Heath Thorpe gave us a like lesson a few weeks ago in if you see someone do a skill onto a rod floor or into a pit, don't assume it's competition ready. They might just be doing it for funsies. And she's not doing it for funsies, but like, don't jump to conclusions yet.
Yeah. So, Kaylee Neemore, first African woman to medal at Worlds. Well, African gymnast in general, or just a woman?
I believe she's, because I believe Egypt is Egypt and Mag has medaled the kid.
Yeah. So it's Suni's still going to be able to compete.
And be able to compete. Like her last interview is pretty bleak.
Okay. Let me finish.
So
From what I know,
I guess talk. Oh, you talk now.
yeah. So from what I know, Suni Lee has been in and out of the Mayo Clinic. She seems to be doing better, but it's still an ongoing condition that is going to take a lot of just patience. Just patience is what it is. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. It's kind of, it's not a condition that is just, it's really predictable. It's one of those, she just has to like be monitored, and like she has to.
And getting the numbers is going to be hard, though. She just doesn't have a whole lot of time. Like, don't count from now to the Olympics. Count from now to probably U.S. Classic.
And that's not a long time. At all.
She could wake up some days and not be, and her eyes could be swollen shut. Her hands could be swollen. That level of unpredictability, there's a difference between what is it safe for her to do gymnastics, which is what her doctors have to clear her for, And is it safe for the U.S. team to put her on the team? And that's not the same thing. Just because
No.
she's safe doesn't mean that it's safe for the U.S. to put her on a team.
And that
But
is, yeah.
we jumped to Suni Lee early. So
I know we always do this.
do you want to say the
This is
name of the
typical me.
next gymnast? Because you have Hispanic tongue and I do not. I have a white woman tongue.
Yes. The no. Oh, so yeah, the next gymnast on our list is uh, Isabella Ayala from Argentina, who, mind you, is a junior. Let me get this situated. Let me give her. Why is my image just disappearing? What is going on there? Oh, hard roll acceleration. That's what happened. 1 second, y'all. Let me work some magic really quick. Hold on. Because I know you want to see my pretty face. Those are jokes. There we are. Cute. I have to always keep this up then. We'll put it there. Okay, so she is a junior, stellar junior from Argentina, and we should really put some respect on her name, which is why I'm going to do this. Give me a second, because I did really cute lower thirds, and I'm going to
She
harp on
just
them.
won the South American Junior All Around Championship by a lot.
Fantastic. Like, I know we give Helen
She is a great
Kevrick
gymnast.
a lot of her flowers, but Isabella Ayala really made a
I'm
splendid
gonna
debut.
we're gonna watch this beam routine, and I'm gonna put a little cold water on some of her flowers, but like she is supposed to be in a conversation, and let's talk about her seriously.
Yes. Here we go.
So the one thing I do want to say about this, so this was the Junior South American Championship. It was a fig meet, but it was the lowest level of fig meet, and I don't think this bar score is realistic. She got a 13.7 here. Oh, sorry, this beam score is realistic.
What was her difficulty?
I do not have her difficulty because, all I have is total scores from the South American Championship.
Yeah.
But I think she has rhythm problems.
So far, so good. Front walkover, split jump, swing down. I mean, she's very talented.
Oh, her best. I think she has a very good chance of making it to the Olympics. It's going to switch back. It is what it is. I think so. The WAG beam field for the World Cups is not deep. So I think she has a very good chance of getting one of those 2 beam slots, which is really, it's her only shot.
You know what? She could take it. She could take it, honestly.
All of the beamers are out of it now. So, I mean, but I do wanted to point out that, that beam is not from a high level fig meet. And that went out all over on Twitter and everyone was very excited. But that's my one caveat.
Well, I mean, we're not going to call it ridiculous like some people would like to call some gymnast routines.
We're going to get to Kevrick. She's on here.
It's just one of those things like, okay, girly, I get it, I get it. You are who you are, Livy. But, let's not call scoring a 14.9?
It was a 14.95, but if you're not calling Neymar's top 12 scores, which were also ridiculous that way, don't call the German league ones ridiculous that way. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. So let's
keep on going.
So anyway, I think she has a very good shot of getting an Olympic spot in the World Cup. Unfortunately, she is screwed by the fact that the Pan Am Games this week is where the Americas spot goes to, and she would probably easily take the all around there if she was allowed.
Oh, when does she turn senior?
She turns senior on January 1st.
Oh.
She and Kevrick are 2 weeks apart in age.
Man, those kiddos, let me tell you,
those kids were screwed by this quads.
I just feel like if you're allowed to compete at the Olympics, you should be able to compete at the qualifier.
Or at the very least, you should have a qualifier that is in the year of the Olympics if you're not going to do that.
Something. It just seems so...
like she is more screwed than Kevrick, but they're
Yeah.
both screwed.
Who is to blame for that? Is it the IOC? Is it Donatella? Who can we write
That's
a letter to?
I mean that it was probably Bruno Grande because that
Ugh.
happened when he was still president.
Oh, you wouldn't know this, but chat is no Grandy's with an I, Grande is with an E. Well, they're both Grandy, but one's E, one I. I was gonna ask if Bruno is related to Ariana, but no, doubt it. Anywho, moving on.
So the next one is we're going to talk about more World Cup things. So
Yes.
the floor, the bars, and the beam are pretty wide open. I don't think you could predict anything. But we're into Battle World Cup Vault, which is the one WAG event that's going to be exciting and unpredictable.
Just a moment for Isabella's ring position, though. Gorgeous.
It's amazing. I mean, that's totally getting credit.
Gorgeous. And we're gonna get into credit in a minute because I watched that entire 4-hour video, bitch. Let me tell you, I have notes. People. I have notes because I'm tired of it.
I'm so glad. Like, I told you that you needed to watch it, and I'm glad that you found something useful in watching it.
I listen when I am given an assignment, I take it to heart, and I did my due diligence.
You got to watch a bunch of adults struggling with Zoom.
And that is my favorite thing. It's like trying to explain how to, I don't know, save an SPDF to people. And then it's just...
Anyway.
It's a train. Okay. So here we go.
So,
Battle World Cup Vault.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Lisa Valen, Camille Rasmussen, and Oksana Chusovitina. And we're going to watch Valen's vaults from Euros first.
Yes. Now, Valen's a great vaulter.
She lost this medal on E.
Mm-hmm.
She had the D.
And she also, I mean, look, I don't want to speculate, but she had the kissing disease. She had mono.
Yeah, she missed Worlds because she had mono.
So I was gonna make a joke like she, the E, but she was getting the D, and that's why but it's a bad joke.
Yeah, no, let's not do that to her. But like you can see, I mean, she has the difficulty. That's a kind of sloppy-ish.
Could have been better. She's done better.
She's absolutely done better. I mean, she wins a bronze medal at Euros with this.
She's a fantastic vaulter.
And she's for sure the best vaulter left in the potential World Cup field. She's also the best all-arounder in the Euros field.
Oh.
So she has 2 good shots at going to, and not like to win not to win the Euros all around, but to win the Olympic spot at Euros.
Yeah.
So she probably, I think, has one of the best shots at making it to the Olympics of people who is not yet qualified.
Right. Because, I mean, that's not going to go to... well, I mean, let's keep going. Let's go because I'll give my thoughts on that later.
I mean, it could go to a Russian, but I don't think the Russians are going to be there.
Yeah, not anymore. Not after what happened.
So
8-7-3-3.
Yeah, so she has an excellent first vault.
Mm-hmm.
She has an excellent second vault. We'll talk about somebody who has a weak second vault later.
So, stay comfortable. When is US Classic? It is usually around March, April.
I think April, but I would have to look at the...
Do you have a date yet?
Yeah, so she has some landing form issues.
And I think that's just a bad day at the office. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she did better in quals here than she did in the final. The final is what I could get.
We have to like remind ourselves, like vault is a very fickle apparatus. Well, all 4 of them are really, but
this is a Gym Nova vault.
Yeah, a Gym Nova vault, and it's God. That's
and I hate this Leo. I just needed to say that I hate this Leo.
I was going to say anything about the Leo, but my thoughts exact. I agree. But,
the Belgians have the worst Leos right now, in my opinion.
It's Nina's fault. I blame Nina.
Can we get to the next one? Is Clara Rasmussen of Denmark, and this is from the Paris World Challenge Cup, which is her best showing this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she is well behind Valen, but she regularly beats Chusavitna in these World Challenge Cups. So I think that she's a reasonable person to put in this conversation as potentially a threat to Chusavitna.
And what's funny is that had Chuso gone to Antwerp, she would have made it.
So I looked at it again, and she would have just missed.
Really?
Yeah, so she probably made the right choice to go to Asian Games.
Was it though?
Well, she probably got paid more money.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
So Rasmussen is one of these people who shows up at all of the World Challenge Cups and World Cups, and she's a really great gymnast. But small programs, she's really got to get there on her own.
That's so expensive for her.
She's probably benefiting from the fact that they're all in Europe, though.
Chusa, wait yourself. Jesus, gung ho.
I mean,
So,
we can probably go to Chusa next. So this is Chusa's best showing this year on vault. It's from the Asian Championships. She wins a silver, I think, here. But classic Chuso. She's a little sloppy. She's still got high difficulty. If I was going to put money on it, I'd say Valen. Now we need to stop.
Yeah.
So Valen, I think, is my bet for getting one of the two spots, and Rasmussen or Chusavitna would be the second. There's two spots up there.
I'm going crazy. I'm going a little crazy. I'm going to go Valen and Chuso. Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say Chuso just like tries to do the Prudhanova and just Splatfest.
That might be the Olympics.
You think so?
I think she might. I do want to say Mia Meninardi of Argentina is the reigning junior world champion on vault, but she's not in this conversation because her junior titles are won with a 1.5 and an FTY.
Oh.
So she doesn't have two families that we know of.
That's a rule.
And that junior vault final was a mess. Yeah. So she won it fair and square because she stood up, but I would not read
is that really winning?
Well, I mean, given that there was an ACL in there and all sorts of things.
That's never winning.
Anyway.
Moving on.
So we're not going to a video next. We're going to talk about just say good things about Rebecca.
Yes.
So the North Koreans are on or one of the North Koreans is later in the list.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I love Rebecca Downey so much. I really do.
No, I'm not talking about Rebecca Downey.
Oh, I'm
Andrade.
I'm over here wax poetic about Rebecca Downey. But if we must, Rebecca Andrade, also a favorite, fan favorite. We all love her. We do. I understand that a lot of people have concerns about Miss Thang going to Pan Am Games, but she is the leader of that team. She's going to lead those girls to Pan Am's to a win against the Americans.
And she wants to do this, and she certainly understands her knee better than anybody else. So that's my thing. Deepa, I can look up her Indian vault scores, but I don't think that they're really competitive right now for those three that we mentioned. And we'll talk about the North Koreans. Sorry from the chat.
Deepa, there's a situation with Miss Karamakar because India does not deem their gymnastics team as competitive. And in India, the way that sports are funded, I was told this, by the way, is that we were all told this in the chat, is that they are really selective about what they invest their money in terms of sports because the cricket, and so because they're not competitive at a world level, they chose not to invest money into
Yeah.
gymnastics.
So I'm going to put her only international vault score from this year in the chat. And the issue is that's just, it's a 2 vault score, but it's below a bunch of other people.
Yeah, at 12,575, that's not gonna do much for anybody, Mama.
It did not get into the Sambathi World Challenge Cup vault final.
And the thing is,
So,
like, even if she doesn't put a Nova at this point, one, knees. Two,
and she wouldn't get credit.
she wouldn't. I
So,
have like Barbara. Oh, there goes. No, it's still there. I like Barbara
so
and teeth. Go ahead.
sort of going back to Rebecca, she's going to Pan Am's. She planned on going to Pan Am's. This was her choice. This is not
From the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. This is not the Brazilian Olympic Committee putting a gun to her head. Yes, the Brazilian Olympic Committee is putting a gun to all their federations' heads to send their stars, but she wants to do this.
And Pan
It's
Am is
very
a
important to
huge
her.
deal. It's a huge deal.
And she's missed the last 2.
Yeah. That's why, what's her homegirl, Ellie Black, up north, the queen of the north, if you will, has won twice.
And Ellie Black is not going. So, anyway, so that's that. Flavia, I'm more worried about. So, Flavia is next on our list.
Flavia's going to Pan Am's.
Yeah, I'm more worried about her mostly because I think that Rebecca has been clearer on her knee than Flavia has been on her ankle.
But in the picture that Rebecca posted of them, like of the training squad, Flavia wasn't in that picture.
She was on the list that they announced, though.
She was? Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
So,
Sound correct.
so that's my thing is I want to stress. Yeah, maybe the Brazilians put a gun to their heads, but Rebecca was already on that train.
Yeah. So,
Ellie,
video?
so I think we've covered all we wanted to cover there because we're going to talk a lot about the Brazilians in the lead up to Paris.
And then, I mean, just in the next week. I mean,
let's all celebrate Flavia getting her medals for the first time.
A bronze, a beautiful bronze. I like a bronze.
And the prettiest of those medals.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty ugly medals.
By far.
I think that Shiley's just, even if she'd been given credit, she was not going to pass Flavia, and we're going to talk about Vornea.
Oh, so my dear Vornea.
I think that floor podium was kind of set.
Yeah. I mean, I would have loved Jada Barbosa just for the floor of it all, but like her difficulty isn't that high. Jade Carey was not here. Jordan Childs was not here. So it was Charlize and Simone. And listen,
I mean, Charlize is making a lot out of that floor. It's just she just does not have the difficulty to compete with Flavia's difficulty and her E-score.
And the thing is, yeah, it's the E-score. And again, 4-hour video, y'all. 4-hour video, okay? Donatella Sachi, I listened to her. It was... She talks in circles a lot. But the reasoning for her talking in circles was because people don't seem to understand. It's not... They don't want the balletic, like, supple stick insects, as Homegirl would say. It's the fact... What, did you leave? What happened? It's the fact that there are specific things that the code asks of a gymnast
that are not ballet.
That are not ballet. It's not ballet. It's everything from the music you choose being appropriate or just like fits with each other, the cuts making sense, your body like going with the rhythm and flow of the music, you interpreting the music correctly, you reaching
changes in tempo
and leveling. Like you have to go up and down and like you really the entire body has to touch the apparatus.
The dance needs to be as exhausting as the tumbling. And if you're doing all
Go
the
ahead.
tumbling and skimping on the dance, you're gonna get dinged.
And if you
And Flav,
don't show training outside of gymnastics, deduction.
yeah, so Flavia is I think the poster child for what the women's technical committee wants
Yeah,
on
it's
floor and
our
on beam.
darling Flavia. Our darling Flavia.
Yeah, I wish she had not called her darling Flavia, but she did, and I have sympathy.
Because she,
So
darling Flavia, Flavinia, we love her.
so
I
the
mean,
next person on our list is our darling Ellie Black, who
yes,
is carrying that Canadian team on her shoulders
entire
all the way
back.
to Paris.
And it's just one of those things. Like, I love Ellie Black, but Ellie Black needs a rest. She needs a vacation. Let the
I
girl, like,
think this year was her vacation.
sis, let her go to Mykonos. Let her, like, just get some sun. Y'all have been working that girl down to the bone. She came back. She a whole new release move named after her. Excuse you. At the bold age of, how old is she? At
Like,
whatever age she is.
if you had told me in 2017 that Ellie Black would still be competing in 2023 and have a name skill on bars
The Prime Minister of Canada, as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, Trudeau.
and calling out the Canadian Fed for abuse in writing.
And very
So
vocal on or interview with Gymcastic. Like, this woman is an activist. She is a leader. She's a sister. She's a mother. She's a friend. I don't know a better person. I don't know a better person.
so
I'm kidding. It was like the Oprah thing. Anyway, Ellie Black. What more can you say? Stalwart competitor. People will come and go. Generations will come and go. Cockroaches will be come and go, and Ellie Black will still be competing. Like you, Sabina. Oop, Catherine, you turned into a robot.
sorry, Ellie Black will still be there.
Yeah. Nuclear fallout, Ellie Black will still be there. We'll still be there.
So Shishi Swan.
Yes. The world champion on uneven bars. Mind you.
So let's watch her bars just to watch her bars.
Which are
Since
very
we
lovely.
watched Neymar's bars.
Yes. Here we go. Boop.
Like, she's so good at these pirouettes in that handstand.
And that layout here is just gorgeous.
I mean, this is why we're watching this angle.
The judges angle. The pack is great. Toe point's fantastic, please. Van Leuven, please.
She's less chaotic than Neymar, and I think that's where her advantage is. Because I don't like. I think it's like that's the like Neymar is more dynamic, but only a little more dynamic. But like, this is more crisp.
I mean, we're seeing this in slow mo now. Like, the pack is, and she never loses her toe point. Never, never. She's just magic on bars. Little feet there.
Yeah, I mean they were a little bit, and some of the pirouettes are a little bit off, but
But she's young, y'all. She's young. She's a baby.
yeah, we'll just hope that they. I mean, China.
China thinks, yeah. But
So
she's like, what, 16 years old? This is her first
yeah,
Worlds.
I would put a coin flip on whether it's her or Neymar for bars gold.
I'm gonna go. It's gonna end up being Neymar just because it's just the
The
redemption
story,
arc, the story. Yeah, the stories like that don't just
and that
happen
French
to not.
crowd is going to root for her. I mean, they
Oh
were
my
rooting for her in
god,
Belgium.
that
So
those Frenchies are gonna lose their goddamn mind when she wins on French soil, and the Federation is gonna seethe. And oh my god, I want that. Hell, I would even be okay with Melanie de Jesus Santos just whipping up some sort of magic. Cecile, listen, get a 6-6 Okay, you don't gotta do 6'7", 6'6", make it consistent. Hopefully, she can win a medal because I would love Melanie to win that too. Either one of those girls, either one of those two, just to
Yeah.
stick it to the French.
So the next thing on our list is Zhang, and I've got two of her beam routines. Since we watched a lot of her team final beam, we have um, the first one. We have one is from Chinese nationals, and one is from the Asian Championships. And I want us to all look at her Yurchenko look and decide what to do about it.
I mean, if she doesn't know what to do about it,
Well, I watched a bunch of her routines, and she's clearly used to landing in that crash, and was just not being dinged for it before.
take it
So she's going to
out.
land in that crash here too. So she's not going to land in front support,
Just take it out at this point, or just do a whole like actual loop, like go around the beam.
which is
Just take it.
probably why Yurchenko did the hip circle.
Yeah, because it's difficult to do that. Look here.
But
Here
they
goes.
clearly trained this skill with the crash.
Absolutely. I think it was like a known thing that she was going to land. What did Jessica say? Like a wad of wet paper. Just on. I mean, look at
Yeah.
that. And we're pausing
So
it. Like,
yeah, no, that's a crash.
that's not front
And
support.
I watched enough of her beams that's clearly trained that way.
Take
So
it
the
out.
next, yeah. So that's nowhere near front support.
Or
That's like,
perhaps maybe the upgrade, would it be worth more if she does the whole loop thing or no?
I think so, but like a hip circle is kind of a lot of arm strength.
Well,
So
I mean, she's Chinese. They do bars.
so
They get
if
the
you
arm
want to
strength.
skip to the next one, since we're mostly talking about the loop,
Yeah.
and the next one is the better of the beams. I just wanted to show that the world's thing was not an accident.
It's not a fluke. It's just, like you said, it's how she's trained it. And I mean, I feel
So
like they
then
feel like
the
her
next
difficulty.
one is her Asian Championships beam, and I think she does land in front support here.
I think they just feel like it's very Simone tease where they're like, oh, your difficulty's high enough that, even if you crash it, it'll be fine.
Well, I think they didn't think that it would count as a fall.
True. That's true. Or
I
maybe
wonder if they said anything in podium training, though, because the gymnasts do get feedback in podium training.
I mean, that's why the judges are there.
Right.
Uh,
So I would want to know if the Chinese were told that it would be counted as a fall.
I don't even think that's front support, though.
It's closer to front support than any of except for world's qualifying.
Homegirl is like dead cat on like it's a compet for what selection for Olympics games. It's a compet for what? Real Carly, real.
We're not sure what you're asking.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'd real LCRLY. Real curly. Um, it's a
So we're
compet.
mostly talking about the people who have things to do in the next year before the Olympics.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think she needs to get rid of the Yurchenko loop. She's clearly used to doing it in this sort of crash, and it's not going to
or just
work.
do the whole circle as just do the loop, an actual like hip circle.
She does look like a potato sack on that beam.
It is just sad. That is me in college at Texas Tech, drunk as shit after a football game, just sad.
I wonder why I never thought about it. Like, I saw this beam at Asian Championships, and I thought it was overscored, but I thought it was mostly about rhythm deductions, not about this.
Oh, Natalia Yurchenko, where you at?
Yeah, well, she's somewhere in Russia, probably.
No, doesn't she coach in the United States?
Oh, yeah, you're right. She's in Chicago, I think.
Yeah, she's in Chirac. It's fine.
Like all the Soviets have moved to the United States.
Next,
So the next is
our friend,
Battle
your friend.
African Champs.
Yep, our friend, your friend, Sandal Sadik.
So the African Champs all-around spot for the Olympics is pretty open. because Neymar won and Rosencrantz were the African champs gold and silver medalists, and they have already qualified for the Olympics. So we've got 4 people, and I've picked up their floors.
Okay.
So because I think a lot of our viewers aren't going to be used to seeing floor from these gymnasts. And I think the South Africans and the Egyptians have really great floor. So can we hear music?
Yes, we can. We can.
So
Here we go.
Can we pause until we hear music?
Oh, can you hear it?
I can't. Can they hear it on Twitch?
I think
If
so.
they can, that I don't need to. Okay.
Okay.
So on paper from African champs, this is Yana Abdul
Salam.
Salam.
Yeah.
So she came in bronze at African champs, but she also, of this group of 4, came in last at Worlds because she had a bars disaster. So she has the highest potential score ceiling of the 4 we're going to talk about.
Her ring positions, though.
The Egyptian floors are really good for a Fed this size. Like, she's telling a story, like Sandra Alsadek talked about how they tell stories with their floors.
Mm-hmm.
So her problem was she had an 8 on bars, by the way.
Oh.
But that is not normal for her.
Gorgeous gymnast. Gorgeous gymnast. I mean, Jana Abdesalam. And this Leo's gorgeous as well. I
want her to go to 2 World Cups. And at least one of them will be in Egypt, so.
I want her to go to NCAA.
I could see that.
I mean,
apparently, Elsadek designed these leotards, by the way.
Yes. Yes. It's very much what you would expect an American to design if they had Egypt in mind.
Yeah, I had that thought, but the Egyptians paid for it, so they seem to like it. If we can go to the next one, yeah,
she won me over.
She's friendly and she's nice and she's working, and I think I want to say that when we get to her next, because her floor is vastly improved from African champs.
Get moved by motion. Sorry, I have to do this once.
So her all-around score is improved like 2 points from African champs to Worlds.
Yes, and she's a huge, she is so funny on Twitter. Like, someone said she needs to do this, and that, and she goes, yeah, she also needs to work on her form. We love a girl who's self-aware.
But she's working on it, and I think that's important. And of the 4 of them, she's probably has the lowest score ceiling at the moment, so I wouldn't put money on her, but she's still in the conversation.
I will say I have a couple anecdotes about her. One, Klaus is sleeping. She is the kind of girl who will bail on a skill in midair. She famously landed on her neck, on her lower neck, in a competition because she just bailed on a full in. She has lost front teeth on uneven bars because she bailed on a skill. All her front teeth, those are fake.
Can we play the floor?
Yeah.
As we.
And so, Sandra Alsadek, she's a character, man. Gotta love her. Shout out to you, Sandra.
She has taken in feedback on what elite floor is different than NCAA floor.
Yes.
And I think that and her floor score increased a lot.
Yeah.
So I want to give props to her for that.
She famously beat Darion Goburn at a meet because Darion competed 3 events and she competed the all-around. So by default, she won.
Well, that's one way to win things at Georgia now.
Yeah.
So I want to point out things like how she has taken in the moving her body completely. Like, she's probably getting artistry deductions because everyone in this sort of range of scores is, but I think she listened to the Egyptians. This looks more like an Egyptian floor than it does an NCAA floor.
It's refined. It looks a little more elegant. I mean, she's taking strides, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, she definitely gets my most improved of the last half of this year.
Yeah. She'll be nominated for it, Jimmy.
And like I said, I don't think that she has a huge likelihood of making the Olympics, although she could go to World Cups if, that's expensive, but still. But she's in this conversation of these four, and of these four, they're none of them is super consistent.
Yeah.
So she beat her teammate at Worlds. So it's possible. It's in the realm of the
It's
possible.
plausible. She could find herself in Paris, you know?
And it would not be like the Belarusians. She's
No.
clearly worked for this.
I mean, we kind of thought that was the situation here at first. At first.
I mean, I still have questions about her being added on at the beginning, but she's clearly made the best of it, and she's embracing the Egyptian team.
And she's trying. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. So
Mama is trying. You know, let's give her flowers.
so the next person on our list is Anders from South Africa. She's a first-year senior this year.
Yes, here we go. Hi ho.
And the South Africans are really good on floor.
Gym Trinette favorite, might I add.
Oh no, so this is Darius.
Oh, and we love Salvation Army.
So she's a Tokyo Olympian.
Already qualified. Oh, I mean,
No,
Tokyo.
no, she's not.
Tokyo. Sorry.
Tokyo Olympian.
I forget Tokyo happens sometimes.
Rosenkrantz is already qualified.
Okay.
So she came in 4th at African Championships.
Lovely 2.5.
And of this group of 4 that we're talking about, she came in, I believe, above Elsadek and below
Rosenkrantz.
No, below Anders.
Oh,
Rosenkrantz is not in this conversation because she
already
qualified.
Okay, cool.
Rosenkrantz is great.
Beautiful double pike, though. Gorgina Childs.
Rosenkrantz is our LGBT Olympian queen, double Olympian.
I didn't know that. Oh, what was that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a floor from a South African, so there's going to be some weirdness.
I hate that jump. I've always hated that full turning L, whatever the hell it is.
L hop.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it.
It's in so many routines right now.
I know it is, and for what? To make me mad? To spite me? I don't understand.
Would you prefer cat leaps?
Yes, actually, I would. Double twisting cat leaps. I don't care. Just the L. It's just no one does it well except maybe Nola Matthews. Maybe.
Okay, and one more. And so this one has to be Anders, which would be our first-year senior from South Africa. South Africa needed to new blood, and this is their new blood.
Yes.
And you might have to skip ahead a little. I pulled these off of Fig's thing, so they don't care when they start.
That Leo's gorgeous, though. Please.
So of our group of 4, she had the highest all-around score at Worlds.
But Abdul Salam is probably the one that didn't score higher than those other 3, right?
Abdul Salam has a higher score ceiling. So at African Champs, she came in 5th.
Okay.
So this is the who has a good day at 2024 African Champs.
Yeah.
But like I said, They're really good with this artistry. It is not ballet. They have listened to Donatella.
Just it's a read the code. It's in the code.
And it's very South African.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be someone else. Which I kind of want to say about the Brazilians too. They're being Brazilian. And not
And
in
they're
a use your home music kind of way.
it's just taking bits and pieces of like what makes you the gymnast you are, incorporating that into your dance and making it one fluid interpretation of your music.
Which, when we get to Kevrick, it's my one complaint about Kevrick.
Yeah.
Is that she's not at all connected to her music.
I mean, she's had the music for how long now? Oh, gorgeous
2
position.
years.
Yeah, it's got to
I mean,
go.
we'll talk about it when we get to Kevrick, because we'll talk a lot about Sykes and Kevrick.
So, chat, I want to know from y'all, which one of these four ladies takes it? I'm gonna start a poll. Hold on, give me a second, because I want to make this interactive. Where's the thing? Oh, shiza. Okay, hold on. 1 second. Actually, no poll. I have to do a lot to get to the poll. But who do you guys think takes it? Abdulsalam, Osadik, Anders, or Darius? Not all at once. Let me hear you out.
One of these
Chat.
ladies is going to the Olympics.
Yes. So if Chad, if you could choose one of them, who would you choose? Catherine, who would you choose?
Anders.
I'm gonna
She's the rising star.
I'm gonna be controversial. I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go, Sandra?
No, I'm gonna go Abdulsalam because I'm not,
See that?
crazy. But in my heart of hearts, Sandra, I want you to take it. I really do. So, in the words of RuPaul and my former co-host, you gotta step your pussy up, girl. Gotta step it up.
Whoever does it has to step it up, because this is going to be one of the tightest races for an Olympic spot this year, which is why I wanted to spend so much time on it.
An actual unicorn says Abdulsalam. Yeah. And I think you wouldn't be wrong. I mean, if you were a betting person, I would bet Abdulsalam. She has the easiest road there. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it will also be easier to do it at African Champs than at Worlds.
Yeah.
I don't know where African Champs is this year, but it's not going to be a huge, long competition week. It's going to be one day, probably in an arena she's competed in before. So,
yeah. So I mean,
so that's our first exciting. I don't know what the answer is going to be there.
and we love that. We love
our next one is Melanie, and I've given us the two sides of Melanie, her all around beam and her her team final beam and her all around bars.
Okay.
And the subheading in my notes for this is consistency. Does she know her?
She doesn't. She does not. She's never met her day in life. Consistency has chased her all her life, and she's been just too fast for her.
Yeah. So this is the routine of her life.
Actually, by the way, y'all, if you are a resubscriber to the channel, you will now see Melanie de Jesus Santos appear on your screen as a new alert. And it's actually the reaction she has to is very routine. So, because I just find it endearing. My lower third says, led France to a historic team final medal.
This is the routine of her life.
It truly is. I've never seen her better. Even at classic, she was good.
If that vault of Sarah Voss's from Euros is the vault of her life, this is the routine of Melanie's life.
Oh my god, that vault was so good. That vault was so good. It was so German and just so perfect and just so stuck.
So this, I think, should win a Jimmy. This beam routine.
It's in the running. It's in the running. I have to the people have to vote, but I'm gonna let you post the polls because people just don't like to vote on my polls for some reason. Disrespect me. It's just a gorgeous
I'll do
routine.
it. I'll do it. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm just here for the graphics, y'all.
No, you're here for other things.
Uh,
We're just a very different dynamic than the old
yeah,
show.
we are. You keep me like on track. I have ADHD like a motherfucker. So like I would.
We
So
have an actual outline.
we have an actual outline because we just nothing against we love gymnastics, but we would just it was just on the fly, and we loved it that way. But that's just who we were.
Yeah, so if he wants me, he gets outlines.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so that reaction is great. This is like Melanie at her best.
It
But
is.
the other side of the coin is if you could after we let them celebrate a little bit, we'll go to her all around bars, which
It
is,
just fell apart.
but it's not like it's unique. This is a repeated thing.
And I will tell you exactly why this happened, y'all. So Melanie de Jesus Santos famously trains with Simone Biles and with the Landys in Spring, Texas, and they have taught her how to do Nabiva a certain way. They gave her a certain technique to do or whatever, right? They reworked her all her basics to be able to do this Nabiva the correct way. For some fucking reason, the French are just like, oh, no, gonna do that. So they changed. They try to make her change the way she does her Nabiva to kind of more Maloney,
And,
rooted, if you
and
will.
she's so far away from the bar, though.
Yeah. So instead of going like this over the bar, she goes like this over the bar. If you notice, she's going more like this.
Can you rewind and play it back?
Yeah. Yeah. I can.
Like, I don't even think she got credit for the momentary hang.
There was no momentary hang though.
I know, but like they'll sometimes give you like credit when
And look, I mean, you can just tell from the beginning. It's just not going to happen. Like, let's do this in slow mo because I really want you guys to understand like what is going on here. Because it's not I'm just a Melanie fault per se. It's more so people telling her how to like redo or how
it's a
to like
confused technique.
yeah. Okay, so just from the beginning already, her feet are like her legs are apart. That's not going to happen, right? You can tell that is Maloney. Like that is like she's going for Maloney on the high bar. It's just not going to happen. Her hands are on the bar, and they're
She's
not.
not going to rotate fast enough.
Mm-mm. That has to. I mean, the way you do an Abiva, I'm just like, never. You know.
So we can continue playing it.
Oh,
Like, I mean, she has a really good bar set other than that, but this is like, she falls on it about half the time.
she does, and it's because she's been told to do it very different ways, and it's like, well, you want to please the person you're there with, but you also like you have in mind that you've learned it the correct way in Spring, Texas. But that's that.
My deep fear is this inconsistency is going to keep her from a medal in Paris.
You know what? I don't even think the Paris Olympics are going to happen, honestly. But that's another story.
They don't have to swim in the Seine.
I don't want anybody to even go to Paris. Like I don't know. You know what? Let me not. We'll save it for another time. Moving forward.
But like,
A lovely Ezra.
she's also crashed these things and made major bars mistakes every time she's competed in front of French audiences.
Yeah. Which is a
So
weird, like a little trivia thing. You should people should keep in mind. It's like this happens. This is not happened at Classic. Didn't happen at Classic. Oh,
it happened at the Paris World Challenge Cup, and her bars routine did not have a fall at. Can we pause before we talk about Colleen?
yes.
She did not have a fall at French nationals, but she had a really wacky Nabieva.
Yeah.
That I think would be heavily deducted internationally. That wasn't in French nationals. Like there's something about French audiences. There's something about these international competitions. Classic was amazing, but I don't think Classic is representative.
and it's honestly it's her having to be coached by the French Federation coaches because they try to rework her entire routine and try to make her revert to the technique she used to do, and that's just not going to happen. She's going to listen to the Landis before she listens to I forget his name or her name, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's conflicting voices in your head, and like when you're competing, that's the last thing you need. So it's
So
literally it's a consideration.
Colleen is here because I want to talk about her as a potential vault medalist, but also let's talk about her second vault, which is not like she's got really imbalanced first and second vault difficulty.
Yeah, she does. Here we go. Very lovely girl. She loves her combat boots. You know what I mean?
So this is her European vault championship.
Colleen loves her combat boots. Parties in them.
And she's got the best run in vaulting.
I mean, she could with that run. If I saw her running at me in an alley, I would be scared. She's like 5'2", maybe less than that, but I would still be scared. Like that one looks like she could beat a bitch up. And like she looks like she's about to beat the vault up every time she runs towards it, and I'm here for it. I like aggressive vaulting. Control.
So she's got really good first vault difficulty.
Yes. Because the Rudy.
But her second vault,
it's just, and maybe
I'm not convinced there's more difficulty to be found.
I mean, she does a DTY, yes.
This is a full, I believe.
She has nominated a DTY twice now that I've seen, and she just hasn't done it.
I think she can do a DTY, but she doesn't always.
Does she ever?
She
did it at a cup. She did it at a cup. Yeah, she did it at a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also it's a DTY that's maybe not the best DTY, so like.
Oh, very Steingruber. Where like that was not the vault she practiced a lot.
So she could be like a really high vault medalist, or she could be last. And
8-9 execution. What more can you ask for in a Rudy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is not a vault that lends itself to being pretty.
It's not. Maybe Sukahara would work for her. Let's see. I mean, yeah, no, she doesn't seem to have the height for the double. I don't know.
Yeah, so that it's just.
Colleen, I just want the best for you, girl. I love your combat boots.
She needs a different. I think she needs a non-Yurchenko entry for the second vault.
Sukahara would be great. I mean, her form is lovely. Don't get me wrong. It really is on the DTY. I mean, on the FTY. It's lovely form.
It's just not difficult enough.
No, by any means necessary. Not in this world. Not in the next.
At least,
not
and if Valen and Asia D'Amato had been just a little bit better, she would have not won this European Championship. If Sofia Kovacs had not had a vault crash on her second vault in qualification, like she won this European Championship, but it was a wacky vault field.
Oh, Sophia. My heart hurts for Sophia. Moving on.
So Battle German. Battle Germans.
This is the one you're so excited about.
This is the one I'm so excited about because it's so painful.
Because people don't understand. They don't understand.
And you're gonna get a bunch of videos here just because I want people to understand. So the first video is we're gonna see Helen Kevrick vault her double, just because there's no point in showing you Sykes's double because she hasn't done it on video
in centuries.
This quad.
So let's just analyze.
So we're talking about a junior all-arounder doing a double.
Okay, her arms. Was this from this past weekend?
No, this is from European Youth Olympic Festival.
Okay, so I just want to note, like, these things I'm noticing right off the bat. Her arms a little more crunchy here. Look how they're bent. But in the video from this week, from the DTB, whatever the hell, MTV, something or other, German.
That was a pull. So this is a double.
But I want to point out though, her arms look a lot better, than they did here. Just right off the, because I'm gonna give her flowers. I think this girl, you've opened my eyes to her, and I'm gonna give her flowers as long as we're here, because we're here already. So moving on.
Like
Great form in the air.
I mostly just want to talk about, like, this is a solid all-arounders vault.
Yeah.
Um, that'll be fine doing the all around.
Yeah. So now
Um,
this is Ellie Sights. Oh shit.
no, we're not doing Ellie sites because we don't have a video of, like, the only time she did her double this year. We're going to do Ellie sites and bars first, but
Okay.
so I do want to give scores though. So in comparison, Ellie's double is a 13.7 for the one time we have scores from her for the squad, and that vault from Helen was a 14.
Now, again, like we said earlier, the gym trainer loves to say that those scores are ridiculous she's getting. I don't think
No,
they
I
are.
mean that was an international 14.
So,
So that was from an international meet with real fig judges.
just saying, the judges have
So
spoken.
she's got three tenths on Ellie on vault with doing the same vault. So this is
Yes.
Ellie's German championship bars.
And these were probably like her best bars in a while.
This was one of her best bars in a while. I don't know if it was the best score, but I think it's the best set she did.
Yeah.
So she has a 6.1D pretty consistently in the events that she's trying hard this quad.
And she's had higher before. She's done the death. She's done.
Yeah, but she hasn't done a def in a decade.
Yeah, but it's still, she has her own name skill up to herself.
Which she also doesn't do right now.
Either. Yeah, no one really does that skill because it was undervalued. And I hate that.
But like, she's a great bars worker. This would have gotten her into the world's bars final.
And she's just a lovely girl. Ellie Sites always brings a smile to her face every time we see her.
She always does that pop to her right.
I think it's an ankle thing. Well, I mean, it turned out to be an ankle thing.
Well, yeah, it could be.
Or just one of those, like, when you like kind of mitigate a landing, so like Suni, when she would land like with her feet all weird, like on her vaults. It's just like it's because you're gingerly landing.
She got a 14.35 for that. She'd gotten 14 Flake 4s also this year. So that, like, 14.4 is about the range I expect for Ellie.
Now.
So the next one is Kevrick's bars from yesterday, which is also a 6.1D.
I just want everybody to really understand and notice the extension. In the words of Ali Hogben, the clarity.
And how little this is connected. She's still got D to be built in here.
The clarity of her gymnastics, in the words of Ali Hogben, is just, it's magnificent, honestly, on bars.
So I think the Pack and the Van Leeuwen are going to get connected.
I don't even think it's going to be Van Leeuwen. Because, I mean, look, I noticed this, I was watching this yesterday. So, I'm going to, let's see where she at. This is where it happened. No, it was at the beginning. Okay, so, hold on. I missed it.
You want to go back to the beginning and
it's the
point
fee,
out where you...
The fee, it's just the fee, and it's like, okay, so look, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, look where, okay, in bar. Okay? In bar.
Okay. She's in the in bar.
Yep. And now look again. Here. Lovely straddle, yes. Lovely. Now, when she goes for the Van Leeuwen, let's move ahead. Where's she at? Oh, come on, girl.
And she's got so much amplitude on it, she goes out of frame.
It's just insane. Well, I zoomed in. But where's she? Okay, when she goes down, okay, here. Arms are straight. Gorge. I mean, she looks like she's connected that several times in the past. It's all there, and I just don't understand when people think like.
I think she's got 3 more tenths of difficulty in this routine in the next 2 months.
Okay, right here. She's not even using her feet. Her feet are an afterthought in this skill. Because if you, it just
So you think this is a Kamova?
yes, I do. I 1000% do.
I
I
mean,
one
it
thousand.
doesn't gain her E though.
Mm.
I mean, sorry, it
Oh
doesn't
my!
give her D because Kamova's the E cap on transitions. Her amplitude just like,
It's just so beautiful, though.
but the point of sort of showing this routine is this routine and Ellie Sight's routine are the same D. Ellie does not have an advantage in D.
And you know what? I firmly believe that was a 14-9. Fight me, fight me. I don't
So
care.
I'm gonna fight you a little
I
in
mean,
that I think
14-7, sure, but like not
yeah,
ridiculous.
I think a couple of her handstands are. I think I would take off for a couple of her handstands that they gave her,
Yeah, but it's not ridiculous to
but
say
only
that.
like a tenth. I mean, I'm not defending that score beyond maybe an 8.4 E score, and you would go higher, but
I would just give her
ridiculous
everything.
was not the right word. I agree, but I
No,
was not going to argue with her.
I'm looking
So
for a
this is
fight.
Ellie's beam, and I'm going to make you suffer through Ellie's beam and floor because I want you to see the difference between what she brings to the table and what Kevrick brings to the table.
Now this is a healthy Ellie Sites, healthy-ish.
This is a healthy Ellie Seitz in the prime of her 25th German championship on the all-around. She has the most hilarious beam fall in this beam
She
routine,
just
but
keeps on twisting. She keeps on turning. It's like an Okino to the floor.
yes, it's an Okino dismount.
Yeah, Okino to the floor. I'm here for it.
But like
We love her. We love Ellie Sites.
she was in such good shape right before the injury.
She really was.
They would have gone to Paris if they had her.
Yeah.
But this is not a natural beam.
No, she's
This
never been a
is
natural beam worker, ever.
this is Jade Carey beam.
I feel like that's offensive to the good Cicely Sites. I think she
Well,
may have like.
Ellie isn't afraid of the beam in the way Jade Carey is afraid of the beam. But
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I think that's the only difference.
Now here's Kevrick's beam, which is it's just 9-day. It's 9-day. It's Agnostia and I'm just not gonna finish the
Nastia and
sentence.
Yana Beeger.
I was not gonna say that because I love Yana Beeger, but yeah, it's Agnostia and Yana Beeger.
Yeah, so this is admittedly her best beam from the European Youth Olympic Festival. And she's completely capable of not being consistent on beam. But when she hits it, she's lovely. This is a junior beam. She's going to get bonuses as a senior that she's not getting here.
She's not. She's capped. She's capped right now.
Right.
So shackled, if you will.
So Ellie's beam that we saw was a 12.3 with the fall. So let's like give her a 13.3 maybe.
Yeah.
This is a 13.5 or 13.05 with a cap.
And I mean, I could see this going 13.8.
I mean, if she upgrades just one skill per apparatus on beam and floor, she's in conversations for European all-around medals. Not gold, but like
A podium
bronze medal.
finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Ellie's floor, since people very rarely see Ellie's floor. And
gorgeous
she got a bronze. She got a bronze at German Nationals for this, and she was really proud of this. And I think she should be.
She's such a fast tumbler, like.
So she and Kevrick are both out of Stuttgart, and I think that Stuttgart gym has decided they need to teach more tumbling. The Germans' problem of late has been they have no tumblers.
They don't.
And
Pauline Schaefer-Betts.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But like Marlene Gottard had a really messy floor this weekend, but she was doing a double Arabian. And when was the last time you saw a German do a double Arabian?
I don't know.
So
Soviet Union?
1987 when it was named
Yeah.
after a German, but like
At World's 81 or whatever?
yeah, Worlds in '87, yeah. But I mean, this is a perfectly fine floor. What does Ellie get here? Ellie gets a 12.85.
No,
That's probably reasonable.
I agree with you. This is my one just can we not? Like Homegirl deserves better than this.
So she needs better music. This is very, as Sean Johnson would say, juniorish music.
This is so juniorish.
She's
Full
had this
in.
music for 2 years, but look at her tumbling
Full in. Amazing.
and her allusion to
Please. Artistry, folks. Artistry.
memo to illusion. I mean, if she had better music, she'd have better extension. She'd have like
she would buy into it.
It all flows from the music, and this is not good music.
It
but
is not.
It's for a German floor. I mean, she's got she's got a half point of on Ellie on floor as a junior without the D dismount.
Come on, it's just a fast twister too.
So like,
I mean, that could be a triple.
At the moment, she's putting up 54s, and after Jessica Gadarova's injury, it's entirely possible the Euros all-around gold is going to go to a 55.
All I'm saying is that y'all don't see Helen Kevray coming, and you're gonna be really surprised in Paris.
She would win every U.S. junior competition for the last 2 years.
Jesus Rivera, tell your father.
She would have won U.S. Winter Cup senior competition. She would have medaled at U.S. Classic. She has won her junior German all-around score has beaten the senior German all-around score for several years now. She's coming. Anyway, and so like people who are gifting this German spot to Ellie Seitz, this is my argument of this is not Ellie's to win.
No,
this is Keprick's to lose.
And it's like you guys give, and not you, Catherine, but like not you, chat, because you guys are
the Gymternet is very American focused.
Not only that, but it's like you give every other country like all these like favors and all these flowers. And it's like when it comes to people who actually have juniors who are actually coming and that actually make it into senior ranks, it's like you can't be bothered. It's like you can't be bothered.
She's the junior European champion. Why are we not like? Why do I have to like showing her routines down people's throats?
I'm here for it.
So the next video is our break to comedy of just how much Schaefer and Shader at German Nationals hate each other.
Oh my god, this is my favorite thing. This is my Roman Empire.
So German Nationals is very huggy and very like they love each other until it becomes Schaefer and Shader.
Look how awkward.
So Shader has publicly defended the coach that Schaefer has accused of abuse and said that Schaefer is not fit for elite sport.
I gotta go back on that. I'm sorry, Alice. I'm sorry, Alice. I'm sorry, Alice. I don't care. Look at the tension.
Yeah.
Schaefer wants to beat a bitch up.
Yes, that is murder face.
Like,
and it doesn't help that Shader has just fallen on Beam for like the 10 millionth time.
There is 15 or 52 like consonants or just like what is it syllables going on in Schaefer's mind right now because she's German and you know how Germans speak. Like there is so many. They're just it's just Shizas and oh my god.
So the Shader's thing at German Nationals of the last few years has been making the Beam final with a beautiful Beam in qualification and then falling.
Oh.
So
Story of her
So
life.
this is also something that repeatedly happens: is Schaefer is in the lead. Shader has to sit down next to her to get a beam fall score.
And you can just tell she just wants to beat a bitch up. She
Yes.
does. I mean, she is like, look at the tension in her neck alone. It's like
Yeah.
you
So
carved
anyway,
diamonds.
that I
Ugh.
happen to have been editing the Ellie Sites routines out of this video, so I just had to share this because
Like
no one watches German nationals.
she's looking at Shader in the monitor, and she just wants to reach over and just slap her. Slap.
Yeah, she's very still. And like I
Yeah.
said, I want to emphasize these are huggy people. Like normally they're super huggy, they're super like congratulating each other. This is not normal.
No one likes her.
Yeah.
No one likes Shader, and rightfully so. I don't blame them. If she
So
said that
anyway,
about me,
yeah, she said that about a world champion who
better
had been a world champion when she said it.
Schaefer Betts is a better person than I am because that would not be me. I would have my back
And it's
turned.
a small world, and she keeps having to see her. So we're going to talk about Alice Kinsella next because I want to talk about her floor D at the floor final. So this is her floor qualification
Did we?
from Worlds,
Was that
and we're
was I supposed to do a lower third for her?
uh
I don't think I did. She was on the list.
battle team GB maybe.
Oh yes, you're right. So I do have one for that. Yes, there it is. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, and there we go. And
So the thing that I want to point out is that she has a composition problem in her floor that is baffling to me. In that she has a 2.5 twister and a triple twister, and if the triple gets downgraded, she loses the value and she loses huge amounts of D. So this is her better of her world's floor. She had a 5.6 D in qualification, and then when she loses the triple in the event final, she has a 4.9 D. So she loses 7/10 in D for that one skill.
I do want to point out though, I think it should not have been devalued.
We'll talk about it when it gets to the weeks. We have the event final floor too.
Okay, cool.
I wanted to give her props to show her doing floor really well before we picked apart her twisting form because she's had it devalued before. This is a thing that they should have been prepared for.
Chat, what song is this? Is this Get Me Bodied? No, it's not. It's not. I'm sure you could remix it too. We really tried. I mean, it's a competent floor. It's a nice floor, but it's not a Gadarova floor.
Well, and she's also been doing it forever. I think this is the second year.
Yeah, Christine, change it up, please.
So the second one. So don't look at her feet. Look at where her hips are when she lands the triple.
Okay. Because again, this is in the code.
Yeah, I mean the commentators tell you to look at the feet, but the hips are where the judges are looking.
It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, is it that one that was devalued, or was it the next one?
I mean, the triple got devalued because they counted her as having two and a half.
So it's obviously close. They inquired and didn't get it.
She did take out the full, the punch front full though. She went for the pike, and she definitely lost difficulty on that.
So this is the second time it's happened. They really need to have a conversation about it, though. I mean, if she punched out of that skill into anything, it couldn't be devalued at all.
So they devalued her triple, but I don't understand why.
I think we probably would need to see a better angle, and this is just the angle we have.
Ugh, these Doha ass angles.
But
That back leg.
like Naomi Vissers is also kind of wonky, but she punches out of it, so she can't be devalued.
Yeah.
So Alice
Oh,
is a great floor worker. She's gonna
love her.
be, you know, she and Undine are gonna be their premier all arounders now that Jessica is out, and I think that the British Olympic team is gonna be Alice, Undine, Georgia May Fenton, Becky Downey, and whoever has the best vault.
Okay. So let's do
So we're
this.
not going in the. We have to go out of the playlist for a bit and go to Twitter to get Becky's bars.
So she's right round. She's right round.
Yeah, I think that she was robbed here.
She definitely was. There was a murder, and Your Honor.
I mean, it's a like she may be like 10% off, but
Not devalued.
no, I'm not. Like I said, I agree. She was robbed.
And I just think it's one of those things like, okay,
I think she just
so
lands a little short, and that's part of it too.
but if Reagan Smith was getting credit for a triple
Yeah, but I don't know that she would be in
in this
the
code,
current code.
it's just one of those like it's baffling, and I want like Oscar said, I want more for her.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch Becky Downey's bars from yesterday from the British Team Championships.
Yes, we are.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get this on Twitter, so we're
Sure.
on YouTube. So
Full pirouette. Oh, love that.
she's
And mixed grip.
she's downgraded to be more consistent.
And good for her. Lovely. Still a little wild.
And she's still got some handstand problem.
Yeah.
But this would get her on the new British Olympic team.
And I mean, just the height she gets on her dismount. It's great. I love that for her.
I mean, as there were people today talking on Twitter about Jess as a bars and beam specialist. If
I don't see it.
like, I don't see it when your options are Georgia May Fenton or Becky Downey.
It's either you take Gadarova for a floor in vault, or you just don't take her at all.
Yeah.
And that's that on that. Crucify me, I don't care. That's my stance on it. You're not taking her for bars. I'm sorry, you're just not.
Not when your option is Becky Downey.
Not at all.
Or even Georgia May Fenton, despite the fact that she had a bad Worlds.
Yeah, let's talk about that for 2 seconds. That fall was just like a lack of concentration.
I've never seen somebody peel on that.
Me either. And the thing is, like, it's such
she just like yeeted herself off the low bar.
She really did. And it's one of those things like, homegirl, like, you can't do that at a Worlds.
Before Jessica's injury, I would have said that she's in trouble.
Yeah, I think she's the one that benefits the most from Gadarova being hurt, other than Downey.
I think they both do.
Yeah,
because you can't there's not a single British gymnast that replaces Gadarova.
No, not even her sister, ironically.
And I don't even know where her sister is in all of this.
And that's the thing. It's like at least with the with the mottos, Alice and Nausea, they're kind of evenly matched. One of them is a better vaulter.
Although the Italian fans keep telling me that that Alice does not compete well without Asia.
They don't.
But Asia has, unlike all the other ACLs this year, Asia has had plenty of time to recover.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's one of those things like they are emotional support twins through and through.
So, but it is worth saying that Asia fell twice on bars at Worlds of her 3 bars routines.
Yeah, it's not consistent for her, and it needs better competition because
she needs to be doing less competition.
Yeah, there's that. And the thing is, like, she has no choice. It's how she makes her money.
So then do you have we don't have no. So the next thing is Hungarians. We're going to talk about the Italians.
Yes. And that is how Hungarians. There it is. Open. And okay, lower thirds. Boom. So this comes down to one, local talent, Sofia Kovacs.
And
And
if she can do bars.
yeah.
So
And
I've put, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, and this is the gymnast that probably got the shit end of the stick when it comes to qualifications.
So if Kovacs is healthy, I can't see the Hungarians not sending Kovacs, even if all she can do is bars.
Yeah.
This is Sekai and her best event, which is also bars. But so I've given you both her bars and Kovacs's bars to show you why this is a choice that the Hungarians would make.
This is Zoja Zekeli, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is Euro's event finals, so like she's a very respectable bars worker.
Yeah.
But her best bars score this year would not have made it into the world event final.
And that just seems like that's her peak. Like that was her swinging bars at the best of her ability.
I picked it as her best routine this year.
Yeah.
So this is Kovacs in qualifications at Euros.
And Kovacs, and people don't give her enough credit, but if she were to put it all together in one meet, she could contend for a medal very easily.
She would have won the Euros all around if she had not hit her foot on bars in the all around.
Leanne Wong, where you
And she would have won last year's all around if she'd only fallen twice and not 3 times.
And she's just one of those unlucky.
And she narrowly missed the 2017 all around to Becky Downey. Like,
we're going too far.
This is the gymnast who is the worst luck.
1000% she is. And the thing is, like, it's not entirely her fault. It just seems that she thinks too far ahead is what I've deducted or what I've deduced, I guess. Like,
I'm wondering if it's just the quality of coaching in Hungary.
That, and I feel like she's one of those gymnasts that is too steps ahead of herself, and so she rushes and then she doesn't take the time to actually finish the skill, and by the time you know it, she's on the floor.
Like, she reminds me the most of a 1980s gymnast of anyone who's still competing, but
or any given day she could put it together and she'll medal. Yeah.
It's just, but it's also, you have no idea which thing she's going to mess up.
Never.
It's not a weak event. It's a random event.
It's one of those things never let them know your next move. I never know Sophia's next move.
Will she fall on beam? Will she fall on floor? Will she fall? In this Euros all around, which she got a huge score on, she got a vault 0 on her second vault. She Rebecca'd it.
It's always whoops a daisy, and she's on the floor, or she has a 0, or something happens, and it's.
But she could make an Olympic bars final, and that's why the Hungarians will take her.
She could even make a beam final at her best, honestly.
Yeah,
I last place, but
and she was in the World Beam Final last year.
Yeah.
So, if she can do gymnastics when the Hungarians select, they will pick her, and if she can't, they will pick Zoja.
Yeah, hand on their hip, and they love Zofia. She's an elder statesman. You know what I mean?
I think she's only 21, but that's okay.
But still,
So we're not. I think you've skipped ahead past where we're going to be, because we're going to talk about some people who are not in the not in videos. So battle surviving Enrico Kinsella.
Oh my god, I laughed when I saw this. So here we go. Boop.
So this is the Italians. Let's talk about the Italian team.
That's both D'Amatos, Manila Esposito, Martina Maggio, Giorgia Villa, Italias. You know what
I mean? Asia should be healthy again to do the spring competitions and get injured.
Alice. Asia was at Worlds.
No, Asia was not at Worlds. Asia is the injured one. Alice was at Worlds.
I don't know these two girls from Adam.
So Alice is at Worlds. Asia is the one who was injured at the Cairo World Cup. And she was also the one who was injured last spring. So she had 2 major injuries in the space of 12 months.
So Alice was the world.
Asia is the one
Asa,
who was injured.
Asa's injured.
Alice is the
Alice
one at Worlds because the
Worlds.
BBC finally figured out that her name is not said the same way Alice Kinsella's name is.
Alice. Gotcha.
So,
Okay. I'm gonna engrave
uh,
that to my brain. I'm still gonna fuck it up, but it's in my brain now.
so if I was to pick who is going to be the European champion next year, I would pick one of the D'Amatos or Esposito.
But I really wanted to be Maggio. My God,
I want it to be Maggio, but I have no idea what she's going to look like.
one of several Roman empires I have that I mentioned on the show is Martina Maggio falling on bars, and she could have been European champion.
But
Oh,
Esposito looked great at Worlds this year.
she really did.
Um,
And her leaps are
and
gorgeous.
and her leaps are gorgeous. Let me look up what her all around score
Oh, I actually
was.
have that pulled up. Oh no, I closed all the windows. Never mind.
So her all around score was she was ranging somewhere in the like 52s. So she was pretty consistent. No, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong column. So 54.8 was her best score, which would definitely be competitive for the projected 2024 European Championship. Her all-around score was a point lower, but she was pretty consistent in that like 54 mid-range.
And she has a gorgeous program, honestly.
I don't think Villa is making an Olympics again.
Not with that back.
Her back is just not going to let her happen.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Ferrari did, just because Ferrari survives everything.
Well, wasn't she trying for this world and she had an injury or something?
Yeah,
Or
she had a partial Achilles,
yeah, and it was the
but
other
she
foot
had
that
it
she
in
hurt.
June, so she's going to have plenty of time to recover.
Was it like the other foot that she didn't?
She never said which one
Oh,
it is.
okay. I'm guessing it had to be the other foot then, right? Because usually, from my understanding, and I'm probably wrong, but I've heard that when your Achilles goes, it's a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb. But when
So look,
after it
yeah,
goes, it gets stronger after that.
maybe. I mean, um, let's talk about why the Italians break.
Because they have, for some reason, intertwined their pro league with their duties on their national team, and thusly they have to compete, otherwise they don't get paid.
And there's that MTV show that was focused on that pro league.
Yeah, the
So
Brixia and the other club.
yeah, so Brixia wins their pro league by 20 points every time, doing all the difficulty in the world. And you're like, why are you doing this difficulty? You're winning by 20 points. Whereas in the German league, Stuttgart wins by 20 points, but they have their gymnast do reduced difficulty. Like,
Now,
the Stuttgart even had an Italian competing yesterday, and they had her doing reduced difficulty.
so it's possible. They know they can. It's just the inherent Italian need to be better than your neighbor.
So the problem is not just Italian nationals right before big competitions; it's Series A. I think
Yeah,
it's more Series A than it is Italian nationals.
yeah, because they essentially want to make it like an elite type NCAA competition style, and it's like you can't do elite level gymnastics
And
week in
it's
and
the
week
wrong
out.
time of year. It's the same time of year as NCAA.
Yeah,
So
but
you're
NCAA,
asking people to peak in that winter and then peak again for Worlds and peak for Euros. Like they're asking them to peak like 3 times a year.
and that's just it's humanly impossible. Impossible.
So this is Kinsella surviving Enrico. If I was going to put my money on who survives Enrico, I'd say Esposito.
Who is the other young lady on that team?
Oh, I don't remember her name.
There's another one of them.
It started with a B. Her leg was taped up like a mummy.
Yes, this is her. I just when it comes to Casella, look, we've said this before. He's done great things for the program. Blah 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 blah. Blah. But at a certain moment, we have to be like, this is abuse. Sending Maggio to compete was abuse. Even though she starts up to do it, but whatever. Like that's still abuse. Like sending the other D'Amato to compete right after she had just gotten healthy. That's abuse.
Yeah, why was Asio D'Amato at the Cairo World Cup to get injured? Why was Maggio at Series A final where her team was going to win by 20 points when she had scheduled surgery? It's not like an injury happened at that. They knew she had surgery coming. So the Italians are beautiful, gorgeous gymnastics. When they're on, but I just have no faith in them at all. Except for Euros. They always seem to be great at Euros.
At a certain point, we just have to, like, how long are we going to allow gymnasts, very talented gymnasts at that, to be ruined by the selfish wants and needs and agendas of their coaches? How long? How many more?
And how long are we going to say, oh, the next generation of Italian juniors look so good? Because the next generation of Italian juniors does look so good. But, like, are they going to survive?
It's like, Donatella, aren't you Italian? Aren't you Italian, Donatella?
Well,
say something.
Yeah. So the next one is also an injury story. We're talking about Japan.
Oh,
I don't know if you had a subhead for them.
I do. I have a special one for Japan. Because, there it is. Japan gets their own special little thing. Beautiful. I put Japan, a team marred by injury. Japan will look to try to have their best gymnasts back after a slew of injuries swept to its program. Miyata Shoko and Yamaguchi Sara plus Nakamura Haruka.
So the last two are juniors. Mm-hmm. Yamaguchi had an ACL at the All Japan Championships in the spring, and she probably does not have enough time before the Japanese Olympic team gets named.
Because they named them like early in the year.
Yeah.
Their trials are like in January or something. It's weird.
So she injured her ACL at the meet that she would need to be competing at next year.
On a double pike, right?
I did not include the video because there's a video of the injury.
I know it's on a double pike off beam, right?
Yeah, it was on beam.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. Gnarly.
And Maeda has been competing in visible pain all year.
Yeah.
Like, she withdrew from. Why she was at the University Games, I will have no idea, but she withdrew in the middle of the University Games all around because she was in too much pain and was too far behind.
Because of a knee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, ankle. She's an ankle.
Oh.
There's another Japanese junior who looked promising at Junior Worlds who was also injured. So Nakamura is the Junior World Champion. I believe she's the one with the deaf. But, like...
Who's the young lady that's a great dancer?
I'm not sure.
I love her. I love her charisma on floor.
I do not know what's going on with the Japanese, though. It's not like the Italians. It's not like they're competing too much.
I from what I know, which is not very much, I'll be honest, it's one of those, like, it's very much, the call is coming from inside the house. Like, it's imploding.
Well, it might be too much pressure on too young a generation.
Yeah. I mean, just like the Chinese, like, that program is imploding. Like, and it's high time it does. It's kind of like the French Federation. That entire federation is imploding.
Yeah, but no one's going to care because they won a medal.
Period.
Okay. So that's really what I just wanted to point out of the weird injury story out of Japan that we don't have a handle on. But they rocked Junior Worlds, and then all of them got injured.
Yeah. One by one. Went down.
So the next one is, I want to give Natalia Escalera her props.
Yes, I love her. The Mexican uneven bar standout is Paris bound.
Well, maybe.
I thought she made it.
She is probably going to get the Mexican all-around Mexican non-nominative spot. That's why she's on this list.
Okay.
But Moreno and what's her name?
Sandoval.
Yeah, Moreno and Sandoval made it. But this bars routine from Pan Am Champs is why Escalera is probably going to get that third spot.
Oh, you know what I did? I completely messed up Aritzi and Natalia. Because in my
So,
head, it was like, oh, the
well,
bar stand up, but she's all around.
and everyone expected her to get the all around spot. She is Mexico's best all arounder. She just imploded on beam. Yeah, let's not watch that again.
And the thing is, like, that's her biggest problem is that,
Bars on beam implosions.
Natalia has this weird, like, innate ability to do fantastic in qualifications, and just it falls apart.
So I am excited to see what she does at Pan Am's.
Me too. I'm excited to see that the Mexican delegation, because I feel like, because clearly the Americans don't care, but like Mexicans care about Pan Am's, as does Argentina, as does Colombia. Who I got an update.
Yeah.
So remember the speculation we were having about the double national championships for Colombia?
Yeah.
That did happen. That is exactly why that happened.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How did you find that out?
People. I mean, you can probably
People told you.
Yeah.
But for the audience, Colombia had 2 national championships this year, which they do not seem to regularly have. They had one in the spring before Blanco switched countries, and the 2 medalists who went to Worlds from Colombia were the top gymnasts there, and so they're going into Pan Am's as Colombian national champions. And then they had a second national championship after Luisa Blanco switched countries, and she also gets to be the Colombian national champion going into Pan Am's. And I suspected that this was to give Luisa Blanco props going into Pan Am's as like a national champion. And you're saying that actually happened?
Because they don't have to 2 nationals ever, and that was it was meant. They first started to be like it was going to be just like a invitational meet or whatever, but then there was some bureaucracy that happened.
And the 2 that won things at the spring nationals did not compete the all around at the second one.
No, they did not.
So it was an open seat for Blanco.
Yeah, and the person who told me is led to believe that there might have been some sort of like deal made. They weren't too sure about it, but like it just from
well,
what
I mean, if it was an existing meet, then they didn't spend any more money on it. They just declared it a national championship.
It wasn't. It was a meet that they were gonna have, kind of like like a Dragon Invitation or whatever they have at Gage, but when people when bureaucracy got involved, that's when it became a national championship.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a completely reasonable strategic choice for the Colombians to do to give Blanco some flowers before she goes into Pan Am's. I think Blanco has a very good chance of being the Pan Am's qualifier.
I mean, she's a gorgeous gymnast. We enjoyed her at Alabama, even under Dana Duckworth.
I would say she's like the odds-on favorite for the Olympic spot out of Pan Am's.
She's a Woga girly. We love a Woga girly.
Maybe sometimes.
Yeah, well, we love a Frisco.
A Woga survivor.
A Woga survivor. Yeah, that's better. We love a Frisco Woga girly. Well, not even really, but she has good technique. She has good technique. Let's say that. It's weird.
I mean, you have to remember the Mexicans are not eligible. The Canadians, the Americans, the Brazilians are not eligible. The Argentinian is not going to be there. We're going to go down the list, and it's going to be somebody from someplace like Colombia.
Yeah.
Or Colombia or Panama.
Or Haiti.
Well, Colombia, Panama, Haiti, that's kind of where I'm seeing
And
this
that's
coming
that.
from.
Yeah, that's the line. That's as far as we're going down. Because I mean, there would have to be some implosions and falls for it to keep going down the list. I feel.
I mean, if Mexico had not qualified, it would have been a Mexican.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 1,000%. It would have been homegirl. Well, no, homegirl would have qualified regardless. So it would have been like Aritzi or would have been Natalia.
Yeah, no, the backup, if the Mexicans didn't qualify for the Olympics, was originally going to be one of the spots. They did not expect to get 3 spots at Worlds.
They did really well for what it's worth.
So, yeah, I mean, I want to talk about Naomi Visser as a like potential Euros all arounder now.
Okay.
We're into the Dutch in the list.
So the next one is Yoso Jong.
Yeah, so that's not on my list, like in our outline. So I
Okay.
wanted to talk about the Dutch for just a second.
Okay.
So Visser is the sort of stealth all-arounder who's been in high up in all of these all-around finals, and she might be the last one standing in Euros.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
And Kovacs is gone. The Italians, who knows what they'll show up. The Gadarova is gone. Kinsella is inconsistent. So that Euros all-around field is going to be like Visser, Son of Vavers for Beam, definitely. But like Visser, Valen,
Schaefer Betts.
I mean, like I could see Schaefer Betts in Beam. In terms of
Kavrik.
Kevrick for the all around, like I think that the all around in Euros next year will be some combination of at least one Italian, Visser, at least one Brit, Kevrick, and I think that that's going to be the top 4.
I think Kavrick's going to run away with it.
I don't think Kevrick has the D to win it outright, but I think she'll medal, and people will be surprised.
Who would you see beating her?
One of the Italians.
I just don't see it happening. I just that entire program is imploding. The calls coming from
Yeah, but they always seem to put it together for Euros.
That's true. That's true.
And Asia will be technically healthy again. She will have legs again.
Could be Wevers for all we know.
Well, Wevers doesn't do the all around, so.
She doesn't?
Nope. She does not do.
Lika does, right?
But I don't think Lika is competing.
Oh, because the dad thing, right?
Yeah, I think she's a coach in Norway now.
Yeah, she retired because I remember because there was a whole thing where like Lika announced that she was taking a step back and Sana was going to continue competing. You're right, yeah. Oh, yeah, Sana Veerman.
Sana Veerman, I could see her. You know? Like, I just think of the Dutch, I would put it on Visser than Veerman. Yeah. So that I just wanted to touch on the Dutch. So why do I have Yosa Jong next? No,
I have Wevers. There's my lower third for Wevers. Has the world turns. Son of remains. Love that.
So let me look at why I do this. Let me look at my list because I made the playlist and
I have Battle Asia, and then I have
yeah. So Battle Asia. So Yosa Jong should be the next video.
Okay, so then I need to bring back. I need Yosa Jong lower thirds. I can just
or Battle Asia.
Yeah, I'll do both. I'll just bring another thing in.
So this is Yosa Jong on vault is the next one, and I just want to talk about how amazing her vaults are, and she's gonna win another Olympic medal. Maybe her, or I mean, the battle for bronze in the Olympics are gonna be.
Oh, I know what you did. So you have Yosa Jong, then you have like Levi Young Rivière and Mabula and all that.
Okay, yeah. So we'll start in with Yosa Jong. and the North Korean.
Ooh, let's
So
go back. Just a fast vaulter, please. That's Dolly.
she has so much power.
And that little body, she does. She has that run. That's a determined run. That is a generational run, honestly.
Well, and her father is an Olympic vault champion or a vault medalist. So
I mean, just the raw talent.
I think she has better form than
Her
Moreno
father.
does.
Oh,
Like this is a Moreno versus Yo battle.
yeah. It has been for the past couple of years, and
Um,
and
and,
it's
and it's
always
more exciting to me than the Simone versus Rebecca battle.
agreed. Agreed. I mean, just look. I mean, her DTY is gorgeous. A little feet, but still right smack dab in the middle of the lane. I mean, what else do you want? Well, kind of. It was a little, but she hopped. It's just
Yeah.
it's a gorgeous vault. She's a vaulter. She's a
Yeah.
vaulter.
So let's like celebrate Yo John. They're going to the Olympics for the first time as a team since 1988.
1988, y'all. I wasn't even born
Yeah.
yet. Neither was Taylor Swift.
So let's see what's next on my list.
Next is
So
Anshen. Okay.
yeah, so next we're going to talk about North Korean vaulting and bars.
Yes.
So this is An Chung-ok from Asian Games, and this is the first time we've seen the North Koreans for a long time. So there's some complicated issues about North Korea competing that make me think they're not going to try and go for the Olympics.
Do you mind explaining for those of people that weren't here?
Yeah, I just want people to see her bars routine first, though, because this would have been in the bars final.
Yeah, it was magical.
If we can play it one more time,
yeah.
Before.
I'll even I'll slow it down a little bit, not completely, but I'll slow it down to 75%, just to really get the clarity of the gymnastics.
I mean, she wouldn't have won a medal, but she would have been in that final.
Yeah. And I mean, she has good form.
Yeah, her vaulting is a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But
her turnover.
So she has a Chang. She's a vault and bars specialist.
Wait, that's so rare.
And I just we don't have video for vaults because I couldn't find them on YouTube.
No. Ooh, it's leg separation. But I mean,
yeah, I mean,
their debut was incredible. We were gagged the world. Honestly, I was gagged.
Well, we didn't know what to expect from them. So the issue is that North Korea is in non-compliance with the World Anti-Doping Agency, not because of doping exactly. It's during COVID, they shut the borders to the country and they wouldn't let anybody in at all. And so no one from the World Anti-Doping Agency was able to do checks on their anti-doping program for years. And you can't do that in international sport. You can't just say, trust us. And they have not let, they're supposed to start letting World Anti-Doping people back in soon, but they haven't yet. And one of the consequences, there are several consequences to being in non-compliance. And two of the things matter to other countries that don't really matter to North Korea. And the third thing matters more to North Korea than it does to other countries.
And Kim Jong-un just does not care.
So the first thing when you're in non-compliance with WADA is that you can't host international events, which the North Koreans were not doing. Your sports officials can't be at international events, which the North Koreans were not doing. But the big thing for them is you can't fly a flag, or you can't display your flag at any event that is not the Olympics or the Paralympics if you are in non-compliance with WADA. And you'll notice their flag is here because the Asian Games decided to ignore that. And now the Asian Games is in trouble with WADA.
So that was my question. What happens there?
they'll probably get fined and they'll probably get ruled non-compliant. And the next time the Asian Games has to run an event, they're going to have to pay WADA to run their anti-doping program, and it will be very expensive.
But they have money.
So they're gonna pay out the ass for.
China has money. We all owe China money.
Yeah, but China isn't it's not China that's paying that. That's the Olympic Council of Asia. That's everybody else. Like,
But if
do
the
you,
Asian Games
do you
were in
think
China, weren't
they
they?
were in China, but China is just the host country. So, like, do you think the Philippines Olympic Committee, which pays dues to the Asian,
No, they don't have. They barely have enough money to get Emma Malabuyo and
yeah,
Liva Young
so like
Riviere.
all the other Asian countries have to pay for the Asian Games deciding to fly the North Korean flag, despite being warned repeatedly by WADA not to do it.
I
But anyway,
would be shaking like a collections like panel thing. I'll be like, no, you're pitching in at least like 10 grand, nothing less. I'll be
so
doing fundraisers, please.
the issue is with this flag thing, though, is that it means that at the World Cups and at the Asian Championships, North Korea will not be able to have their flag shown, and this is North Korea.
They love their flag.
I mean, I think that's why they weren't at the Asian Championships to start with.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think that they're gonna try for the Olympics.
And it's just sad because it's like your athletes
They have great gymnasts.
should not suffer because of your bureaucracy or because of your selfish or whatever it may be ambitions. Like the athletes are the last that should be affected
Yeah,
by your Reindeer Games.
they wanted to pretend their country had no COVID. Everyone knew they had COVID, but
there was a whole the whole thing about like a patient zero. Like we all saw it in HD, Kimmy.
Yeah. So, can we skip to the next person?
This is my favorite.
So I don't think I have video for the for Battle Asian Champs. But
oh shit! Okay, I'm sorry, I skipped one. My bad. Battle Asia. Yeah, we don't have video for them, but that's okay.
Yeah. So
here you go.
The Asian Champs Olympic spot is also a really interesting race among small fed gymnasts because Korea, Japan, China are all out, and Rifta from Indonesia qualified at Worlds.
Oh, good for her.
And Aaliyah Finnegan qualified at Worlds. So now we're going way down on the list.
Oh, is Yasinskaya in the run?
Yasinskaya is in the running. Let me look at what her best all-around score is.
I love Yasinskaya.
You just love her name.
I do. Who wouldn't?
So she didn't do the all-around at Asian Games or at World. So let me look up on Lauren's list what her
shout out to Lauren.
Potential is.
And shout out to Kenzie Beal, Dr. Kenzie Beal, for truly launching probably the one of, if not the best resource for men's artistic gymnastics in the entire internet. Like seriously.
So Yasinskaya hasn't done the all around since 2019. So she might. I mean, I think she could get to the Olympics still in the World Cups. So our three picks for the Battle Asian Champs I have are 2 Filipinos and 1 Taiwanese gymnast. So
Juan
Ting Huan Tian.
Yes, Ting Huan Tian. Liva Young Riviere, who local talent, Liva Young Riviere of the Young Rivieres, actors in Hollywood. She of Woga fame. She of Valerie fucked up and thought that Asian Games was a qualifier as opposed to Asian Championships.
Do we know that for certain?
Not yet, but
okay,
that's a suspicion.
That's being investigated.
Not only from us, but that's the suspicion amongst parents.
So for the audience, we suspect that Levi was going to Asian Games because Valerie thought that was where the Olympic spot is, because in Pan American zone, that the Pan American Games is where the Olympic spot is, but the Pan American zone is the weird one, not Asia. So he didn't bother to look up the
And I
details.
think that the way that happened is because of the way things are translated. I think like the way that
But
Latin American countries, like the way they set their qualifiers up or whatever, is because or how they label competitions is because of a language thing. I think.
yeah, but like he could have looked it up on the FIG site in
He
English.
can't be bothered.
So anyway, we think Valeri just didn't know that Levi had to go to Asian Champs.
I don't think it was Valeria. I think it was people around her in the Filipino Federation wanting to, get as many athletes as they want. When they were able to connect with the young Riviars, when they presented Valeria the idea, he's kind of signed off on it. He was like, "Oh, great idea. Sounds good to me." Yeah, doesn't double check.
Okay.
The man cannot be bothered to double check.
So let's give Ting her props because she has a bronze on beam from Asian Games and did Asian Games and Worlds in a 4-day period.
Yeah, she literally got on a jet and was there
after the beam final.
She won her medal. Podium training.
Did not do podium training. So she got a 50.665 all around at Asian Games and a 3 points lower at Worlds because
tired.
Jet lag and gymnastics are not meant to mix.
And the time zones, it's just.
But she is technically the the score ceiling for this group.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Unless. Well, we're going to talk about Levi next because Levi is confusing.
I wasn't even going to talk about her. I was going to talk about Ms. Malabuyo.
Well, Malabuyo has not done an all-around elite since Olympic trials, so she technically has the highest score ceiling, but it's been forever. And also, what body part is she going to lose next?
She did do all around her freshman year of college, but now she is a junior, right?
Again, what body part is she going to lose next?
Let's just hope it's a ponytail.
Emma would certainly win an Olympic spot on floor if she went to the World Cups, but that's going to be a big ask for an NCAA gymnast.
Especially during NCAA season.
It would be during the height of NCAA season into the postseason.
She would literally have to miss out on
half the season.
The latter part of playoff of the postseason, and then go to there, then come back and do because
she could get back in time for nationals, but she would miss the end of the regular season, the start of the postseason, and it would cost $20,000.
Yeah, no. So NCAA's the second day, the championship session is on 420. Yay. But the qualies or whatever semifinals are on the 18th. So she has. It'd be literally like them going from Asian Games to Worlds.
Not Asian Games. I'm not talking. I don't know when Asian Champs is, but the World Cups.
The World Cups. Yeah, I was liking it to her going from World Cups to NCAA's as what people did going from.
Yeah, so she has the best floor score of anybody who is not yet qualified to the Olympics.
Yeah. So she has a shot. It would just be.
She just has to make some hard choices.
It'd be a Herculean task to overcome.
So it might be easier for her to do the all-around at Asian Championships, given that the floor ceiling for the Olympic spot out of Asian Championships is going to be much lower. So if she could do an elite all-around, she can do that, but it's been so long since she did an elite all-around.
And that last elite all-around was just all out of spite.
So that's the can she do an all-around? Will she do an all-around? Will she have all the body parts necessary to do an all-around?
And will she want to do it?
Does she want to go to the Olympics? There are lots of she can go to the Olympics. It's just going to be a lot of choices.
She can go to Paris.
Yeah.
It's just, do you
but
want to go to the Olympics?
it's just gonna be a lot of choices. So I would put my money between them on Ting. So
Yes.
Levi's U.S. champ scores are slightly lower than Ting's this year. It's domestic scores. She scored better last year, but Woga was not good for her.
No, it was not. I think out of all the girls that defected to Woga, she was the one that got the shit into the stick.
So, what is your take on why she regressed so much?
It's not that she regressed. She's always been injured. She's one of those very flexible gymnasts, and we've talked about it at length, and we've heard it another on Gymcastic and other sources, and just like gymnasts who are okay. So when you are a young woman, a young lady, a young girl, your bones aren't fully fused. And Kathleen, you can probably speak to this more than I can. Your bones aren't fully fused until after your period. Until you get your period, your bones are not fully fused. That's why you can be so flexible. And it's, when you're younger, the flexibility is just astronomical. But once you get older, get your period, your bones fuse. Thusly, there's a lot of girls who are very flexible who are like just constantly hurt because it just your bones are fused.
So,
And
one of
she's one of those girls.
our friend of the show who doesn't get on the show thinks Valeri does not know how to train somebody through a growth spurt.
He doesn't. He doesn't. Not
Do we think
Nastia, not Rebecca, not a single girl.
so? Do we think that's what's going on with Levi?
I mean, the writing's on the wall. I just don't think he understands how like the physiological things that happen through a growth
So,
spurt.
like 2022, Levi could have easily won Asian championships all around Olympics spot. I just don't know that 2024 Levi can.
And the thing is, like, Levi's always been an injury-prone gymnast. Even before she went to Olga, she was injured a lot. She had a lot of, I believe, shoulder problems. So she already comes with like a heavy resume of injuries to begin with. That could, hey, Johander, who was a Johander, it was only like exacerbated by Valeri's
So she's lost at
inability to
least 2
coach.
points in her all around.
Yeah, yeah, and it's Valeri's inability
And
to
that's 2
coach.
points on US championship scoring.
I mean, that's with several falls too, though. So
Yeah, but I mean the problem is that her US championships domestic score is lower than Ting's um, Asian
yeah,
Games all like international score.
and one of them is an FIG event, and the other one isn't.
Yeah, so one of them is a high level FIG event, one of them is US championships.
So
Okay, so like I would say any of those three could take it. They're very close in their scoring potential. I just think Ting has a better chance. She's also
yeah,
not going to be suffering from travel problems in Asia for Asian champs because she lives in Asia,
yeah.
which is
But
something to say.
for all we know, it could be Malabuyo. Because
It could. I
I
would
think
not put it past her. I just don't think we have information.
I think Janelle. Janelle just seems like bought into like helping these girls get to where they want to be, just so the girls will buy in to the vision of UCLA. Getting back to their
And it
best
would be
form.
great for UCLA.
Yeah,
And
because I mean,
I mean, so she was injured at Asian champs, but we think it was precautionary to. Oh, sorry, Asian games, but we think it was precautionary.
yeah. Because I
So,
mean, that knee. It's always been a knee with her.
so here's the question I have for you. When you consider that UCLA does not have Jordan this year,
Yeah.
do you think they might have written off this season enough to let go of Malabuyo for that time?
I don't think anyone ever like writes off a season completely, But
Yeah, but like
I do think
Malabuyo also
Janelle.
was not doing the all around for UCLA either.
I do think Janelle. Once she was again, I don't know this for a fact. I'm just going off like my first thoughts in my head and just like the little I know. I think Janelle knows or believes that they have, and they do. They have the talent enough to do without Childs, perhaps without Melabuyo, especially with the new talent coming in. With what is her name? But
So, I mean,
they
I
were
guess what I'm
counting.
asking you is if Malibu wanted to do this, do you think UCLA would be supportive?
Oh yeah, because they were counting on Barros to be there at least the first of the season until Barros left for the Olympics. Now Barros deferred.
I agree with you, Joe. Um, you know, I just
Bar-
I would love to see Emma at the Olympics. I think both Emma and Levi could potentially go to the Olympics. Uh, like the Philippines could get 3 gymnasts at the Olympics if everything fell right.
yeah. Now I think they were counting
Because
on
the other
Barros.
the other
Oh, go
thing
ahead.
to know is that Ting could get Ting is a really great beamer, and she could get a World Cups beam slot, and she goes to World Cups, and if you get a World Cup spot, that's before the Asian champs spot. So these are like math. That's an order of operations. So if you won the World Cup spot, you're taken out of the pool for the Asian champs.
So here's the thing, John. Um, you know how the anti-hero. It's me. Hi, the problem. It's me. It wasn't Kim Zemeskel as much as it was her husband or ex-husband Chris Burdett, who then exacerbated everything she learned from the Crowleys, and then Texas Nightmares happened.
So Kim
Kim Zemeskel's going through like
Jamesko
a
seems better
redemption era.
now.
Yeah, she's going
Her
through
ex-husband.
a redemption era.
Well, and she's not pushing her gymnast as hard.
Yeah,
Um,
she's not.
so the timeline for the Texas Nightmares is the gymnast came forward. Apparently, Kim Zemesko started talking about Kim Zemesko basically contacted a bunch of her former athletes to talk about what their feelings about her were. There was a lot of self-reflection. Then there was a divorce. And I really want to know more about the divorce, but I also don't want to know because it's not
It
any of my business.
it was very hush hush. I mean,
It was very quiet.
very quiet.
Um, he sold his interest in the gym back to Kim Zemeskill, and what I have heard through the grapevine is that he pushed her to be more harsh and more yelly, and he's the one who said the racism things. Now she owns the cutting Kennedy Baker's hair. She just does.
Yeah,
But
that's all
um,
on her.
but it sounds like she's trying to reform and not trying to make it about her.
Yeah,
And Malabulio went back to her.
and I think the only reason Malabuyo went is out of spite for Chris, like completely out of spite.
Yeah,
Because there's
so Chris
no
is gone and he's no longer coaching gymnastics and he's a young man, so like he got booted.
yeeted, honestly, because like that you cannot tell me that the fire that Emma Malabuyo rediscovered within her wasn't out of just pure spite towards a man who inflicted a lot of abuse on her and her friends. Not, I'm not making the idea like claims like sexually, but just like physical, mental, and emotional. Because if you go
He
back and
called them
watch,
slaves.
if you go back and watch the who did it behind the routine, was it
Uh Flo.
Flo?
Yeah.
The Flow special, it was very Chris centric in a way that he was the one egging on all the comments and like he's just
Well, if you look at the way people talked about Kim when she was a young woman
mhm,
in her 20s,
very reminiscent.
they talked about her like she was very easily influenced, literally.
And I mean,
She didn't
it's
want to make decisions for herself. That marriage does not give me good vibes, and I'm glad she's out of it.
and the
So,
thing
like, I'm
is,
not ready to put Kim Zemesko on a pedestal, but I think that there's a reason to think that she's not maybe as bad as she used to be.
and I mean, like you said, like, John, you said, and give them limited agency. That's because that's how Kim was brought up. Like that's just,
Yeah,
it's
so he encouraged everything about limiting agency.
yeah. It was he grabbed on to things from her past that that were clearly triggers for her and like abuse for her and exacerbated them and then passed it on to her athletes because you do
I
as you
think
teach.
everybody is capable of change.
Yeah.
I think you have to want to change though.
And it takes a
And
long process.
so I don't think Valeri wants to change. I think he wants people to think he changed.
He wants people
Uh,
to think he's walked the walk before he's walked the walk.
and she's been very quiet about it.
Yeah.
She's not advertised it. Other people have said it. Um,
No, I don't,
no,
because it's about him. He wants to be that girl. You know what I mean? He wants to be the alien superstar, and it's
and
very
and his
clear.
current gymnasts are not all saying that.
Yeah. Not
Connor
Connor. Not
Connor really said some wild things.
calls him a stalker. So, you know,
Uh,
you know.
so it's hard to tell. Anyway, where were we?
I will say one
We
thing.
just
Hold on. I
finished.
will say one thing. One thing before we move on. It is, as someone who has to sit here and take personal agency and like really sit there and reevaluate a lot of things, and take a look at myself. Way back when, what was it? It was like August of 2001. The whole gym shit happened, and like really had to like take personal like um personal inventory and like have like the long night of the shadow, whatever, solo shadow night, whatever it's called, and really come
So
terms with my own things. Like, you
yeah,
cannot change if you're not willing to sit there and do the work. And I don't believe that Valeri has done that because he's made it about himself.
yeah.
It's always
So he
about
wants to
Valeri.
be the chair of that the
Yeah.
committee, but I don't think he can as long as Simone is competing.
No, he
So
won't be.
Laurent is saving us from this because Simone is not going anywhere where her coach is not the head coach.
And it's like it won't happen until Hazley, and I don't even think it'll happen with Hazley.
I don't think Hazley's making it past her first year as a senior.
I don't think so
But
either.
but we're going to talk about US at the end of
Yeah.
this.
So that's
So you're
you're fine,
no,
Johnny. You're
you're
fine.
fine. This is good. This is what we were talking about. This is like the next year in review.
Yes.
Okay, so Sabrina Voinea, and I want you to talk about what you see after having watched the artistry deductions
Because this
stuff.
pains me. This pains me because I love her so much.
Yes, you love her, so I want you to do this.
Okay, so here's the thing. First off, fourth in the world is not a bad place.
I'm not hearing you, are they?
Oh, no, I wasn't talking yet. So I just want you to, okay, landing, great. Okay, it's not a landing thing. It's not a like a skill thing. It is the fact that this fucking music is god awful. One, two, she's not connected to it. She's not interpreting the music. She's tumbling it,
And
and that's it.
her body isn't all moving.
It's not moving. She's not expressing. It's smiley. It's you know what it is? It's American floor. It's what it is. It's
So like
American floor.
she's waving her arms around, she's waving her legs around. This
It's
isn't
American floor.
everything with the
Podcast music.
like
It's
like
American
you said,
floor.
after you watch Donatella for 4 hours, you can understand this floor score.
Like rolling on the floor like that, that's not sufficient. Like, your entire body has to touch, like the trunk has to touch the floor. Everybody have to express, and this is American floor. It's what it is. It's comparable.
Well, that's because American floor was Romanian floor.
Yeah, gaze the Pozar.
So the thing that bothers me is they have a Dutch guy.
No, it's not even Jade. It's not even Jade. This is like quintessential, like,
Gina
American.
Gogan.
Well, yeah, Gina Gojin. Cut the cameras, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's her. It's her mom. It's her mom. And like I said, incredible potential hindered by her mother. Please tell the story.
So like the rest of the Romanian team looks different from her because they are getting coached by someone who knows the code, and she is being kept away from the person who knows the code.
Because of her mom.
Yeah.
Barbosu, night and day.
Her mom was so artistic because she was using music she related to. She was a breakdancer, and she used breakdancing music.
And the thing
This is not like music that Sabrina is at all related to.
this was like weird, like pipe, like recorder music. It made no sense. Like, there was, If you're gonna do that, at least like slither or something on the ground. I don't know. Like I don't know. It's this. There was no connection to music. There was no change of like level. There was no complete. There was no training outside of gymnastics. There was nothing here.
Yeah, so
And
like
she's lucky she got fourth.
I don't think Kevrick is connected to her music, and I'm going to use this example because I think they're very similar in that. But at least Kevrick is like going through the motions of doing things with the music, and Renee is not.
I wouldn't say it's Murakami in Rio versus Tokyo because one different codes, and the code then did not clearly in Tokyo it did not ask for what it asks now because man won. But the problem here is that there is just not and we mean by connection because they're gonna tell us out there for 4 fucking hours. The connection with the music isn't a pain of a nation. It's not. It is being able to interpret the nuances within the music, like hitting heartbeats. Just being able to express the entire body what the music is sounding like and what it's giving essentially.
This is tumbling to music.
Yeah, that's what it is. That was just tumbling to music. It was lovely, great landings. I love her to death, but she's
I
lucky
want
she got
better for her.
fourth. Yeah, in Oscar's words, I want better for her, and she's lucky she got fourth. Honestly,
So I think she got fourth on her D alone, but
yeah.
I'm curious what her artistry deductions are going to look like when we get those.
Oh, they gave her they threw the book at her. They threw the book at her because if you look at
Um,
Barbosu's and hers, night and day, night
so
and day.
the next one I believe is I think we're
Do
back
I
to the Koreans
do I
next.
think mine was underscored in 2013? Oh my god, I have to think back. That was in. It was this one. It was Antwerp.
Let me look at what her qual score was versus uh the
Do I
event final.
think mine was? God, you were asking me to think back 10 years. That's a whole decade. No, no, because her
So
turns were wild.
but I don't think Forneo was underscored in quals versus all around. She was within 1/10 of each other. In the event final versus quals, she gained a tenth in the event final. They were very consistent.
I mean, she did have a consistent meet for once. I mean, she
But
didn't do beam both, but you know what I mean?
I mean, she was going to run into the same problems though.
Yeah, and they should have seen that from a mile away. And someone should have told
And
Gina Gojin should have told her.
if she got good scores in quals on her tumbling, then she would still have gotten good scores in quals in the event final on her tumbling. She's just being hammered on artistry, and I think.
What happened with I'm something like I remember something about Catalina Ponor having to be removed.
So the legend, at least the rumor is, so Catalina Ponor is a friend of her mother's, and a friend of apparently a Romanian gymnastics reporter who has been bad mouthing all the other Romanians.
Okay.
And bad mouthing Dutch guy, Patrick Kleins, I think his name is. And apparently, so Knorr was on the floor at Worlds as the athlete rep, and she apparently went to talk to the Romanian team, and she said she was giving them advice on their routines. The rest of the Romanian team hate Vonea's mother, hate the reporter involved in this, and hate Knorr because they see her as part of this campaign to badmouth them in the Romanian press. And they told the Dutch guy that Knorr was telling them to get away from him. And so he went to Donatella and complained about what Knorr was doing and interfering with his team. And Donatella had Knorr removed from the floor.
Donatella does not play.
So all we know is that Knorr was removed from the floor by Donatella. The context is all out of rumors from the Romanian team.
That's the kind of shit I live for. I'm sorry, I'm a messy bitch at heart. Like that's just it's to be a fly on the wall of the sports police.
So,
you know I mean, I'm a messy bitch that loves drama.
But also, like, the Dutch guy is
good.
has worked with
He's
Donatella before.
good. He's good, and he's a good. He's good. He's like, I wouldn't say. I was going to compare him to Jeremy Miranda. Well,
But
mm,
Barbosa, Barbosa, I
Barbosa.
can't, yeah, Barbosa is good, and
Yeah.
she's good in ways that he's clearly influencing.
And the thing is, like I said, you look at Barbosa's floor, and then you look at Sabrina's floor, night and day. Like Barbosa actually, like it seems like she gives a fuck about like interpreting the music, whereas Sabrina is like just pretty.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the um. Sabrina needs her mom to let go some.
Yeah, she like Camila needs to leave. She needs to go. She needs to leave her in Round Rock and just go. Is it Round Rock?
So,
No, that's the Russians. Yeah, is it
Round Lake is
Round
the
Lake?
Russians.
There you go.
Deva. No,
Deva.
no, Deva's not where. So she's being trained with her mother in Bucharest. Everybody else is in Deva.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she needs to go to Deva.
So anyway,
Camila needs to stay in Bucharest.
then I think we're done here.
Yeah, we're done. We're done with Sabrina. Sabrina, I love you, baby girl, but you need to emancipate yourself. Stat immediately. If you want to, because she could honestly, she could have won like at least silver. Honestly,
Yeah.
she has great difficulty. It's just the artist. There's nothing there. They do the book at her completely.
So the
Anna
Koreans are
Biles.
next.
Anna Simone
The South
Biles.
Koreans.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yes. So we're going with Lee first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the Americans as a lightning round at the end because there's so many of them and they're gonna be talked about a lot.
Yeah. So
So this is
Dazzled with
Lee
Russian bar
Yeon-sun's
routine.
bars. Is I think the best Russian bars routine out there, including among the Russians.
It's so pretty. It's so floaty. She's a gorgeous gymnast. Shout out to you, Jordan. What I would call is probably Leon's
I
biggest.
think she was underscored versus how a Russian would have been scored doing this routine.
Yeah.
Maybe the Russians would have been overscored, but like,
What
I
order
think
were
if
we
she was
going in?
wearing a Russian leotard,
We were going in country order, right?
yeah, we're going in alphabetical order and country.
Okay. I mean, come on. This is Russian bars at its best. Even it has an orphan half in it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Russian bars routine.
Yeah, it's Melnikova. Angelina, what are you doing here?
And it's better than any of the Russians currently doing it.
It's gorgeous. Shout out to you, Jordan, on the Gym Internet. You know who you are. Leon's biggest fan.
So can you let's replay it one more time.
Yes, one more time for the girl. Okay.
Does she have the orphan house?
No, she doesn't actually.
Okay.
No orphan half.
But either way, it's the Russian bars routine.
It's a better Russian routine because it has no orphan half. Because does the orphan half even add anything to difficulty score? No. I don't understand why anyone does it. It's like just do something else like a grown up. Jeez.
I mean, there's an argument to be said that this routine is out of fashion with the code.
I can see that.
But
because you're doing way too much for not enough. Like it's not optimized for what you could do essentially.
It's optimized for Rio.
Yeah. Roswell would have gone all around bras if not for the orphan half. Roswell would have gone a lot of things if not for a lot of things.
So Roswell, I mean, she has some pirouetting issues, but her form is so good, and she was in the reserves for the bars final, and I think she should have been in there over, say, Ellie Black.
Well, we say that. Oh, hold on, girlfriend. Hold on, girlfriend. Hold on. Are we done with Lee and So?
Yeah. So we're now gonna go to Yo and her World's Waltz.
Yo So Young, bronze medalist, Olympic bronze medalist, mind you. She of the who could have been the ceremony, could have been the Steinkruber, but it is now and forevermore the Yo.
She who doesn't know what to do when they hand her a bronze medal.
As I mean, no one. I mean, would you? I would
And
bite it. I would
I
just bite
love
it.
Rebecca having to tell her to put it on.
I would just bite it. I mean, what else did you do with it? Like, I need to know, like, if it's real, you know? So I bite it. It's just gorgeous. Her vaulting here was phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, she's not doing the yo, and that's partly, I think, why it's.
Well, I mean, we saw it in podium training. It was assisted, and even then,
I mean, I think she'll have to do it if she wants another Olympic medal, but
yeah. Oh, better than ASAC?
ASAC has got one of the best
Her
handspring.
block.
Yeah,
ASAC's block is superior, but she never had the not audacity. Well, it is.
landing.
It is audacity. You're going for a double, like 2 twists in the air, landing forward, and I'm like, yeah, it is the audacity to go for it. She trained it, never went for it, and because the ankle, the Achilles, you know how it went. The dishing lady, she has panache, and she has literally the audacity to go for it, and I'm here for it. I love a gymnast who is so sure in her training that she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Like Alexa Moreno, she's another one who busted a yo. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, 2017 finals. Yeah. Well, no, I think yeah. You're right. Her beam routine though, after she won vault at Worlds that year, my God, best beam routine of her entire fucking career. And I will die on that hill.
I mean, I would say this is going to be a really hot take. ASAC and Mary Lou Retton had the best handspring blocks that I've ever seen.
I'm gonna go ASAC.
So Mary Lou Retton has the best. Sorry, Suk block.
Okay.
So ASAC has the best handspring block. Mary Lou Retton has the best Suk block.
Okay. I think it's for Alexa. It's the anxiety for her. She's a fabulous like vaulter, proven time and again. But it's just like if she's off, she's off. It's completely off, and you'll see it in the landing. You'll see it in the air. It's off. It's off. It's off. But when she's on, she's on. It's kind of like Chusavitna. When she's off, girl, hide your kids, hide your wife. It's gonna be a disaster.
That's the end of our videos, and we have one more thing to do. We're doing the Speed Battle Americans. And I don't know if he actually put what I put on our outline in the.
I did not. Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, of course I did. Are you kidding me? Of course.
So we can get rid of the video.
Yeah. So let me see where's she at. Yes. Open. Okay.
So the logic here is that, basically, we're going to talk about the Americans for the next year. So we wanted to talk about everybody else.
Oh, hold on. Let me bring myself in. Oopsies. I should have done this before.
Okay.
Oh no, that's is that me? Oh, how did I do this? Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me think how I did this. Okay. Okay. So okay, there's that. Let's.
I mean, we could just watch Yo's face as we talk about the Americans.
I want to see my face. I'm kidding. There we go.
Okay.
There I am. Hi.
So we need our lower half.
Oh, what do you mean?
Lower third.
Lower third. Right. And and paste. Boom.
Okay. So, speed battle. Simone's backup dancers. This is like, what? One sentence. What does this gymnast need to do in the next year to make her position better? And that's okay. Sorry, I'm just watching it on Twitch.
Oh, sorry.
As you are moving around. So what do they have to do in the next year? What do they have to prove? What are their problems? Like, give us 1 or 2 sentences, and I'm going to start I'll give you names first, and I'll go after you do.
Okay.
Okay. Jones, what does she need to do?
You do this to me all the time, and I hate having to like. I'm just gonna. Okay. I need a cigarette for this one. Well, here we go. Because it pains me to do this to her. It does. It does. She needs a better coach. I love what Sarah's done for her. She's too nice, and I think Shelly just needs to be pushed a little more because it's in her.
Who do you
It's in her.
move her to, though?
Huh? Pardon?
Who do you move her to?
Ciao.
Does Chow
Ciao.
even coach a lead anymore?
No, but he could be asked. He could be influenced. I think with presented the opportunity, I think he could. Chow, because I think Chow could actually bring the bar's like upgrade that she needs to truly be competitive with the girl that's going to come back next year at, according to Valeri, that's going to start competing at camps starting in January, and she'll be relegated to like a third string on that team. Because if
I
the
don't
rumors are
think she
true,
will, because I don't think Gabby can come back as an all-arounder.
We
But
say that.
anyway,
But
so
Gabby looks like fucking Serena Williams. Like those arms are coming.
Blakely,
A sports psychologist. Point blank. Period. At
do
this
you
point,
think she gets another chance as a beam specialist?
no, no. She's gonna have to have like the performances of a lifetime, and she's gonna need a sports psychologist. Like
So I think
that's
they need to put her on a plane and have her compete like a bunch early
yeah.
in the year. She needs to do like all the World Cups. She needs to do GTB. She needs to do Jesselo. She needs to like. I say don't compete too much. That girl needs to get this narrative out of everyone's mouth.
If she is not, she needs a sports psychologist, and she needs to either
I
go to
wouldn't take
Florida.
Blakely now, but like she just needs to prove consistency.
Go to Florida. She needs to go to Florida because she's outgrown Woga. She's outgrown Woga because Woga's
You
doing
want
nothing for her
Leanne
on
Wong to
floor.
take her under her wing and
Yes, yes. Her and Jenny like to have a long conversation because what's her face? Her sister Sloan is already there, so it's like she'll be fine there. But she needs a sports psychologist and she needs to go to Florida because she's outgrown Woga and Woga's doing nothing for her on floor. And I mean at this point, it's a wash. If she doesn't change something drastically, it's a wash. She'll be
okay.
relegated to alternate on that team.
Leanne Wong.
Consistency. And that beam fall was uncharacteristic for her because I mean, when's the last time Leon Wong has fallen on beam internationally?
I can't remember it outside of an injury.
Exactly. She just needs to be bubble wrapped and not compete all around at Florida. Maybe 2 events a week, and that's it.
So my feeling on gauge trained gymnasts is that people confuse carriage with artistry.
Yeah.
What do you think
Now,
about that? Having now watched.
carriage is important. Carriage is very
It's
important.
important, but it's not artistry.
But it's not ours. No, not in this
So
code.
do you see what I mean by now that you've watched Donatella?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. It's this feign like it's adjacent to Lulu at this point that having carriage and being up on your that's not enough. It's not enough. It's very foundational, but it's not enough.
Oh, I agree on Mustafina, but I mean she would not get the score she gets now. Oh,
No,
she would not get the score when she was competing that she would get now.
no, because they would have hammered her, especially like on her yeah, no, it would it. Now she would have scored well, but not as high as she was scoring. But this code, it's not, and I think people need to watch this fucking 4-hour video because it's what
And
we
it's a hard
think.
watch. I'm not saying it's not.
It's painful, but it's hilarious to me as someone who knows about computers. Just seeing people struggle with it, it's just hilarious to me. But the thing is, what we confuse artistry with is this feigned notion that it is like ballet and it's European. It's not. And
I mean,
Donatella says
Leanne
this.
has such a great she has the bones.
Yeah.
And lots of the gauge gymnasts have the bones.
Yeah.
She's just not getting there yet.
No, and the thing is, because Donatella says this in the video, she's like, "We're not asking for ballet. It's more than just like what we think artistry is. an entire like involvement of the body. And while Leanne is good, she could be better. She could be better.
And she could be the best American, which is why we're like,
Yeah,
she and Shiley's could be the best Americans in terms of this, and
they
they're
could be
just not
Kelly and
quite there.
Michelle backing up Beyonce. But right
So,
now they're Latoya and Lativia. They are.
so Shiles needs that Chang.
Charles needs Cheng. Charles also needs to not do the floor she has right now. Now it grew on me, it did,
I
but
have no sense if she's taller. I just don't.
pardon?
Uh,
Oh,
Johander asked a question about
do you
Leanne.
think Leanne has gone through a second growth spurt? That's no. It's hmm.
Uh, I,
I just think
I
it's her
think it's
body.
injury recovery.
Yeah.
Um,
But back to
and
Charles.
and doing NCAA.
I think Charles. It's just her gold. Her like literally her the lotto ticket to the $1 billion for Charles is
Is that
doing
Chung?
that and doing the floor she was doing in NCAA. That is not trying to lend itself to like balletic artistry or whatever. It is literally just doing what she does best and is putting on a show. That is artistry. It's interpreting the music. It's having fun. It is literally just like dancing your ass
So
off.
do you think that she was hurt by not doing that floor in
Yes,
Worlds last year?
yes. Who? Charles?
Yeah.
I think she was. You mean this
Like,
year?
do you think she could have beaten Gadarova?
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been through this. We've been through this 1,000 fucking
I
times.
no,
Yes.
but I mean, if you assume that Gadarova was scored correctly.
I that would go back. That would go against like my very argument that I don't
Okay.
think she was.
But
But I will say I do think that what was missing from Jordan's floor was very small things. It was very small things.
so can Jordan and Leanne be on the same team?
It depends on the Chung and it depends on Leanne's D scores. Because if you can't have one without the other.
Like, I think they're interchangeable.
Mm, I would more so say that Leanne.
Because
Actually,
once you consider that you might have another bars worker on there and that Leanne is not there for bars, like once you decide Leanne is your like,
yeah,
take off Blakely
Leanne's an
and
alternate in that case.
like, I would say not take Blakely, and Leanne is in the Blakely spot, and then
If I have all the cards
that
on the
spot
table,
becomes a Jordan spot.
if I have all the cards on the table, and if I have you have the pick of the litter, and I have Sunisa Lee, and I have Gabriel Douglas like
Well,
wild
yeah,
card,
but that's like if wishes courses, and we'll get to Lee.
yeah, then I don't see Leanne making the team. But if I don't have a Sunisa Lee and Gabriel Douglas isn't doing the all around, I'm relegating Wong to
So
alternate.
yeah, so she's an ideal alternate, which is her problem, and it
Yeah,
has always been her problem.
yeah,
And she would have been an ideal alternate this year if they had better choices.
yeah.
Riviera,
I don't see it for her, and I don't
I
mean that
think
in
she's
an ugly
gonna burn
way.
out in her first year.
I don't mean that in an ugly way. It's just like the writing's on the wall, all the way from MG Elite, and then the article about her dad saying that if I wanted her to be happy and laughing and having fun, I would send her to clown school. Writing's on the wall. And I
Oh,
hate that for her.
I think that if she's still competing elite in 2025, she's back at MG Elite.
Yeah, her dad's fucking crazy. The software engineer. Come on now. Like, yeah, no, he's fucking crazy. And the fact that he said he would send her to clown school over Maggie Haney if he wanted her to have fun, writing's on the wall. It's a wash.
So we talked a little bit about Sunisa earlier in
Sunisia?
the stream, but I'm going to stress again. She's waking up random days with swelling that makes her unable to do gymnastics.
And like I said earlier, like from what I know, it's like that situation is very day by day, and it's not a condition that it can just be like, okay, so you've reached a point where you're good. No, it is a literal constant day by day having to like go to checkups, having to like, maintain like literally constantly checking levels, constantly having to like get blood work done because it's one of those conditions that's not you don't
So they,
overcome it. You just you learn to live with it.
I think that I love to see her continue to try.
Yeah.
I and I think that she's clearly working with her doctors in a way that they are making the right choices for her. I don't want to make this sound like I think she shouldn't be competing.
No, me either. I do think her
I
leaving
I
NCAA
just
was a
don't
dumb choice though.
see I just don't see how you could take her on a US team and not be committing malpractice.
I mean, Afanasieva, a gorgeous gymnast, had to retire because of something very similar.
And like, yeah, she can, like, her beam at US Nationals could have gotten a medal at Worlds in the beam final, but like US doesn't need a one event specialist.
And it just Kara Aker, how you doing? And shout out to Kara Aker. Kara, if you've retired, like the rumor suggests you have, I am so sorry, baby girl. Like you deserve better, and you deserve
Yeah,
better than Tom
let's
Farden.
still wait for Kara Aker to actually say something
Yeah,
herself.
but yeah, going back to Suni, I don't.
So that's my like. It's not
It's
that I doubt her. I
it's just
just
that
don't
the condition
think
itself
the
is
US can do it.
difficult. It's difficult. If it was a 7-person team, perhaps, but it is
Yeah, but
not.
I mean, it's been a long time. Carrie is not the queen of pacing. Can we stop that?
If I hear one person say that about any gymnast, to be honest, I'm gonna literally flip a table. I'm over it.
So
I'm
I'm
over
going to
it.
rant about Jade Carey and pacing for a minute.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she paced really well um in the Tokyo Quad, but she got to pace in a completely different way than everyone else did. She did not have
Carrie
to peak for
Carrie
nationals.
didn't
She did
do
not
elite
have to
gymnastics
peak
until
for
she was like
trials.
13. Let's not forget that.
Like like and this year was a failure of pacing.
Yeah.
And saying that she's the queen of pacing after this year is ignoring everything that happened this year. And no, it was not the quote unquote injury that only NBC talked about is not why she performed like she did.
No. It was just a tired. It was a tired. And it was
I
trying
think she needs a new coach. She needs not to be doing NCAA next year. She needs to be like, the problem is like who leaves their coach who is their father.
I mean it's happening Chelsea did for a while.
No, no, that she did the reverse. Her parents sent her to somebody else, and then she came back to her father.
Yeah, but like, people have left their fathers, what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like
So
not at this
no.
stage.
Yeah. Um but where would she go? Because her dad works in Oregon now.
WCC.
She'd have to defer a year.
I mean,
Jordan is, so
I mean, the problem is that like
time is running
I
out.
time is running out on the deferment.
She's
Like
enrolled
the
at Oregon for next year already, so she can't.
well, and also like, do you want that year of NCAA or do you want to go to the Olympics?
I honestly, I mean, I have my gold floor medal. I'm good. I would
I
just go be a
wonder if she
beaver.
knows she isn't going to the Olympics.
I mean, Chelsea didn't even know she wasn't going to fucking Pan Am's. They were going to send her to Pan Am's, but and Kayla to Swiss Cup. But then Jade Carey's sister was getting married, so definitely Jade Carey went to Swiss Cup. And it worked out for everybody in the end because then Jade Carey got funding again. So it's like I don't
Yeah,
think
I mean,
anybody knows.
I I want to know what the rest of the Swiss Cup field looks like because I want to know if Jade is going to win that.
Is Swiss Cup Arthur Grander? No, right?
No, so Swiss Cup is the mixed pairs one, so we
Okay.
also don't know who she's going to be paired with. She's won it before.
But Arthur Grander is a mixed pairs as well.
No, Arthur Grander
No.
is like another weird format.
Okay. I know it was like
Um,
they're both like weird formats, but yeah.
like after Arthur Grander is like 3 events,
Mm.
but
Oh
Swiss Cup is
yeah, that goes in stages, right?
yeah. So Swiss
Yeah.
Cup is like mixed pairs. We don't know who they're going to pair her with. The issue is like she might win Swiss Cup because the Russians traditionally have won Swiss Cup because they go there for the money.
Yeah.
The Italians might send somebody real, but like the Italians are all broken. Um, I don't know if the British are invited. The Germans are certainly not in shape to send anybody. Like I could see Melanie. Melanie could make a lot of money at Swiss
That'd
Cup,
be good
and
for
she would
her.
beat Jade.
Yeah.
Um, so like I have lots of questions. I want to see that Swiss Cup.
Yeah.
Um,
I do too. And that's in like a couple weeks, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
start of November.
Okay.
And let's see, Douglas.
She's gotta go to camp.
She got to go somewhere, but
She's gotta go
like
to camp.
the standing full is amazing. That she
Her
released this week.
arms, I've never seen her arms that big. Like she is in fucking shape. She's gonna do
She
something.
knows that she has to compete with Simone.
Yeah, and she's already done it before. And Simone, has cheekily, like Cheke, said that already beat Gabby once. When they asked her like, "Oh, you're gonna beat Gabby?" Like, she's already beat her. And so I think Gabby has something not to prove to anybody else. I think she just wants to prove it to herself this time around.
And I'm all for that. I want Gabby, and like I've been skeptical mostly because of the way she's done
Yeah,
this. Or on her show. Like I'll show up at Winter Cup and like do so much because
Slay.
Simone isn't gonna do Winter Cup.
She never does.
So like let like well Simone's
It,
only had two chances to the Winter Cup, so that's not a like
true.
never does this
I do
not
want to
thing.
say
But
like
like
I do want to say like before I forget, I did famously have to eat a fucking hot ass chip because I doubted Sunisa Lee. So let me not doubt Sunisa Lee. Let me just put it into the universe because I don't want to eat another hot chip until like after next year. But that being said,
I don't doubt
Douglas has to go to a
Sunisa
camp.
Lee. I doubt whether they'll take Sunisa Lee. So that's my thing is I'm not
I
doubting
doubt
Sunisa
Sunisa
Lee. I'm
Lee's
doubting whether they
kidneys.
will take her.
I doubt her kidneys. That's more.
Uh,
That's I think that's where my mind is. I doubt her kidneys letting her. She wants to go. Lord knows she wants to
like
go.
and she'll be able to do a beam routine when she's 80 and like in a
Yeah,
walker.
yeah.
Just saying that, but like doing an elite bars routine of the kind that she would do is a different story.
That's a Herculean
Um,
task. Like, but
Roberson,
Douglas, Robert. I, okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if you. And I'm gonna say it, Catherine, because I don't know if you guys saw,
yeah,
but there is an interview in which it was after the team final. It was on Gymnastics channel on YouTube. If you want to go see it, you can. You know what? Let's go see it. Hold on, because I need to reinforce the point here that I kind of rubbed me
okay.
the wrong way. Kind of didn't really necessarily like leave me with the best taste in my
So
mouth. Hold on,
I'm gonna
let's
let you take
change.
one side of this and I'll take the other, even though I kind of agree
Oh,
with you, but
that's
not like
not the intro. Hold on, not the intro. Not the intro. Okay, go back.
yeah. We'll do.
Yeah, so Johanna, yeah, Simone Schuster, but let's for the viewers who haven't seen it, let's pull it back up. Let's see. Gymcastic. Um, Team USA final. Okay. So there's a moment in this. It's right here. Fantastic. Okay. I want you guys to understand. Simone is much more than just a gymnast. We all know this. She's also a gym owner now. She is co-owner of WCC, and thusly it is not only her like, you just want to stick up for your gym. No, it's literally her job to make sure that her gym looks good at all times possible. It's very PR oriented. It's also kind of her job because as Laurent is, he's her coach, but he's also her employee. Thusly, the implications here, and just the way that kind of went down, it just it doesn't sit well with me. And I love Simone. I love
It's
Jocelyn. I'm not saying anything bad.
that interaction reads if you read it as gym and team, or gym owner and gymnast at her gym, and the problem is Simone is both.
Yeah. And it's very
And
dicey
you know
to
who
navigate
should have
one. Nonetheless, both of those, like having to navigate both of those, like, what is it, dichotomies, takes a master, and
yeah, I'm not
it's
blaming Simone for
difficult.
this. This is like, and it's also not a tightrope anybody has ever had to walk before.
Mm-mm.
Now, I think that there is a very good argument that Jocelyn shouldn't have been saying anything because she hadn't had tests yet.
Yeah.
And it was a completely reasonable thing for Simone to try and stop a teenage girl from talking too much about. But
Something she's not well informed of yet, even her own body.
Yeah. So I'm less concerned about this because Joss is 17 and new and young and a minor. I would be more worried about this if this interaction had happened with one of the adult gymnasts.
Yeah, and that's another problem I had is Laurent was underplaying the injury in the mix zone. The thing is, like, it just feels like USAG of old. It feels like a scene out of a movie with like, you know what I mean?
If you were going to take a bet, how much you want to bet her Achilles is ruptured?
I don't think it was Achilles. I think it was. I think she said it was a pop. It could be an Achilles. It could be an Achilles. But I'm more inclined because from what we heard that the way she landed.
Do you think it's a broken bone?
I think it was like a broken bone. I think it was like a broken like.
They said that she needed her eye though.
I never heard. I didn't see that.
And they would have gotten that from an X-ray.
Yeah, so it's an Achilles. It has to be.
So, I mean, I don't know when we're going to find out about it. So, I agree with you. I think that that Simone should not have been doing this. It should have been right over her shoulder.
That should have been Annie's job. I mean, that is Annie's job.
Yeah, that is Annie's job. That was not Simone's job, and that's my And do we want USAG to shut gymnasts up when they're talking? No, but also yes, there's a reason why Jocelyn shouldn't have been talking about that. So this is not a cut and dry issue.
But again, it's just like something
but
out of a
Simone,
movie.
The gym owner, should not have been the one speaking there.
Yeah, and it left a bad taste in
my
mouth.
So Annie is the vice president of USAG, and she's supposed to protect the gymnasts in these interviews from questions they shouldn't have to answer.
Yeah, it's literally her job.
Her job literally would have been to intervene. If she had done what Simone did, USAG would have taken heat for it, but it would have been appropriate for her to do.
Yeah. And it's just I do have more do have umbrage to raise. Now that I've watched a 4-hour fucking video, I'm never gonna shut up about that. Chelsea Memo, what the fuck are you doing? Literally, you are your job as the brevet judge on this track.
That was her. I'm answering his question in this chat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
she's taking baby steps.
But that is not a position that you take baby steps in. That's a position in which you have to go and be like.
You have to remember, last year she was not she was having Valeri clearly, and Alphonse not listening to her at all.
Yeah, but we're running out of time.
Baby steps would but she said that she went through it with the gymnast individually. I just think she's being stonewalled.
Not only that,
So,
but I think she just has to
one
put
more
her foot
shot.
down.
So one more shot since we're on this subject, though, and I think Lincoln has dead eyes.
One more time. What'd you say?
Our last gymnast to talk about eyes.
She needs a second vault. She needs to leave Volga. Just close. You know what? Just close Volga down. How about that? Because it's or
So
something needs to happen at Volga because it clearly it is a Valerian event.
Pan Am's is going to be the make it or break it for Lincoln, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
but from what we've seen, it's the artistry. Volga just does not know how to do artistry because Valerian's hard-headed.
So Pan Am's is going to be a make it or break it for Lincoln and Tiana and Miller.
Yeah. Like,
see, people keep saying that because she looks like Gabby Douglas, and she's not Gabby Douglas as a gymnast.
She's not a good bar worker. She's not. She's competent, but she's not a good bar worker. And so, at this point, I think the elite gymnasts that Woga have outgrown Woga at this point because Valeri's still stuck in his ways. Because Valeri's still like bitter that he's.
Well, see, Marchenko is her coach.
Yeah, but I mean, par for the course. You know what I mean? In that weird Woga nation that they have, it's one of those things like they've outgrown Woga as a whole because Woga isn't serving them in any way, shape, or form. Like Lincoln is a fantastic tumbler on floor, but the artistry is not there. It's just not.
That's what I meant by elite dead eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, she needs it. She needs a second vault. She needs some like. I'm gonna hold off on a lot of what she needs until we see Pan Am scores, though.
Yeah.
And the same goes with Miller. Like Miller and Lincoln both.
Now Zoe
needs to see some international judges.
There's something to be said about Zoe. I like Zoe a lot. I do think there's something there. I do think she's like a crock pot meal. She needs a little bit more time. A little bit more time.
I don't think she has more time.
I feel like the pieces are there. I feel like she's been overshadowed by her teammates, but I think Zoe is the one that's going to have that Gabby Douglas glow up that Johanna's talking about. I think it's going to be Zoe. Or, it could be Lincoln, but
but is there room on that team for her?
What's that?
Is there room on that team for her?
Yes. If there's no Suni and Gabby's not doing it, well, if there's a Gabby, there's no Zoe.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because Gabby's gonna have a stronger all-around program than Zoe will. Unless Zoe has two vaults, but I don't see it.
Simone and Jones. Simone is lock. Jones is almost a lock. Everything else is moving pieces.
It just. I mean, we saw Sky only doing bars this year.
I don't think Jones. Like, you can't ignore that Jones made every event final she was an option in.
But that beam dismount was wild. And it was a tired.
I think
she
was tired.
I can see that. I think it was a tired, but she made it last year without,
She wasn't in the beam final last year. She wasn't in the floor final last year. No.
Was she not?
No. Her last event in Worlds last year was bars. So that fall happened on the first event.
That was a tired. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was a tired. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, damn.
Anyway, so that's the end of our outline.
The girls need conditioning. The girls just sit their asses down. Chelsea, if you watch this, someone send this to Chelsea. Chelsea, listen to me. I wish I would have like a Skype call template. Just sit them down. Okay, you have to just put your foot down. Okay, put your big girl thong on, and just literally just put your foot down. And be like, if you don't do this, I'm not putting you on your team. I'm not choosing you for a team. If you don't comply, your gymnast is not going to Paris. We're not doing this anymore. You're not gonna get to dance on the Seine. Okay, you either comply or you're out. Because these girls, oh my god, am I switching? That's how mad I am. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, Simone Biles got hammered on floor and the book thrown at her because she doesn't do what the code is asking. Her start value is a six
See, I
seven.
got in trouble with you when I told you that she wasn't doing it. And then you watch this.
Yeah, then I
I'm
watched the
sorry.
fucking video and I learned. I saw the errors in my ways because like you were completely right, and those who don't agree should watch this fucking video. You know what? I might even stream the fucking video like sometime this week because you know it's
I think you'll have to edit.
oh
I
for
think
sure
you'll want to edit that 4 hours down.
for sure. Her
Um,
her D
so if
score.
anyone has never seen this video, it's the Donatella taking the Asian Gymnastics Union Technical Committee through the code, and not just
It is
artistry, like
it's
everything
the
in the code.
entire code.
But so we could
Yeah,
do
we have
that.
problems with Skype.
Maybe not before Pan Am's. Maybe something like after Pan Am's.
A deeply racist video. So I don't.
It's not.
I sat there and I was ready for that. It's not. It's very like. It's just what the code asks for, and and yes, Simone got an 8366, but Simone could have gotten a higher E score had she just done certain things that the code asked for, like the little cartwheel she did with the O. That showed training outside gymnastics. Her taking it out, it was a deduction because she's not showing that she's done training outside
So
gymnastics.
Johanna, I would say the undertones of the slideshow for coaches had racist undertones. This video, I don't think does.
It's
Because
one of those things
for
like
one thing, this video is being run by like the chair of this is not Donatella, it's the
what's her name? It's
the chair of the Asian Gymnastics Union.
it's a blonde lady.
She's from Syria. Yeah, she's from Syria.
Yeah, it's you just have to watch for yourself, honestly.
It is very different. It is not, because the slideshow was meant for coaches to consume, and we're talking about something that was meant for judges to consume.
Yeah, it's two different things. Like, and I was prepared for the racism. Trust me, I had my cards ready. But no, once I gave it a chance and just sat there,
She's very careful about it.
Yeah, and actually sat there and listened.
She was very, very careful about it.
Once I sat there and listened,
Adex, you're gonna have to edit it though.
Yeah, and the more I ran about it, the more I realized like people need to watch this because we think it's one thing, and I was all on that side, but once I sat there and gave it a chance and just sat there and listened and actually listened, not just like heard what I wanted to hear, I was like, oh.
Yeah, so if I bet you could edit that down to 2 hours from the 4.
Even less, honestly. But
yeah.
My light just went out. There you go.
But anyway, so we should let you go. But
3 hours and 11 minutes. Thank you, Catherine, so much for your help. Like seriously, you're helping me stay afloat and helping me sell the ship, and I couldn't be more thankful. Thank you for your time and dedication.
Okay, you have a good day.
You too. Y'all, thank you so much for watching our little Bro to Paris. Would you guys want to discuss? Yeah, of course. We're definitely have to do that because the more I ran about it, the more I realized that it's something that we actually have to watch and not sit here and watch. Not well. What is it? What is it? When you're not listening. You're what is the word? It's internalizing. It's like we hear what we want to hear, but it's one of those things like you have to internalize. Oh, you're welcome, Jahander. Once again, and just because it's on my heart, what's going on in the world right now is not great. Let me take off the Simone. There we go. It's not great. Okay. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. Actually, the episode of Adex at Night, this is Adex at Night Live, Adex at Night that I'm working on is about misinformation. And for some reason or another, it's one of those things like it's like it fits like a ring, you know, it fits like a glove. The fact that this is all going on and it relates to the topic that I'm actually talking about in the show. Now that script has already been written, but I'm gonna have to go in there and revise it and include some of these things that are going on right now in the media because it's a lot. And if I can ask for something, if you're reviewing some past competition like Let's Play, can you do it a bit earlier? Yeah, yeah. Oh, there was my light. It's my foot. Um, I'll do it earlier. Um, but back to what I was saying. Listen, I don't support. I'm not here. I'm not gonna sit here and say I support Hamas. That's stupid. No one supports Hamas. No one supports senseless war for no reason. At the same time, I don't believe that not supporting Netanyahu is anti-Semitic. No one's right here. There's no winners here on either side. This is literally a centuries-old conflict rooted in religion over, honestly, things that don't matter. Because if you are using your religion to inflict pain and like try to hurt or kill other people, then it does not matter because you've lost humanity. This is it's beyond like trying to like reason with each other. This is one of those things like there's clearly war crimes being committed. Well, it's more than just it's religion, and it's several things. It's several things. It's several things. It's also funding from Putin, funding from Iran. It's a lot of things. But what it comes down to, it's like there's young, innocent lives that are being completely wrecked on both sides. On both sides. Like, I completely, like, you can't tell people to evacuate an area and then board it off and then kill them. That makes no fucking sense. Like, and then the way that, you know, the government in Israel goes into places and like tries to remove Palestinians who are just trying to live their lives. Like, I don't understand like why. Just let them live. Like they just want to be like just want to live their lives, and people see someone hurting, and then they pretend they want to help them, and then infiltrate, and then use it for their own fucked up things, and that's what unfortunately, like, it seems like Hamas is doing here. Like they've taken an opportunity and been funded by Russia, been funded by Iran, funded by all these like dark money through Bitcoin and shit. And here we are. Here we are. I think what Israel has done is terrible. I don't agree with what Hamas is doing. I don't agree with what anybody's doing in this situation. Everybody seems so stupid. Like forcefully, forcefully displacing somebody is not cool. It's not awesome. It sucks. Like, it just sucks. Like seeing like people go in there to try to help and then them just being killed. Like it just makes no sense. Like, and then there's a lot of people online showing their ass and like laughing about killing Palestinians. And it's like that makes like who laughs about killing anybody? It doesn't matter like what your beliefs are. It doesn't matter like how you're talking about killing somebody. That's not okay. Like that's terrible. Like the propaganda is terrible. The TikToks of Israelis like celebrating the deaths of Palestinians. I'm like, how can you do that? Like the Torah, because you know I'm Jewish. Like I'm Jewish. Like my mom isn't, so that's why I'm not. Just like seeing like the Torah doesn't like, speak anything about killing anybody. Like it's more about peace, and I just don't understand like where in your heart that comes from. That's not of God. You know that's not of a saintly person. Like to wish death upon anybody is evil. Even if you don't agree with what they believe in, there's a lot of people I don't agree with. But I don't wish death upon them. There's a lot of people that don't. I'm sure people wish death on me, but I'm not going to say that in reverse. But like just at the very root, like cutting off their water. These are young kids. Over 40% of the population are young kids, not just like teenagers. They're like literally under the age. They're minors. They're children without water. You can go about what 2 or 3 days without water. That's if you're grown. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? And for what reason? It just makes no fucking sense. And Hassan Piker did an amazing thing. He raised over $450,000 in aid to Palestinians. And if you can, I just I think celebrity siding with Israel for their bottom line is cowardly and shitty. But again, there's no winners here. Like both sides, more so it's not even the Palestinians' fault. It's more so Hamas having like done all that shit because Putin funded them. It's a very fucking nuanced and fucked up situation, man. I mean, the last thing I want for anybody is to hurt or just be displaced or just. I know, like Adex, it can't be all kumbaya. And nothing is ever kumbaya, but like there's got to be a better way to resolve things than this. There's got to be a better way. This is why the aliens don't come because they see us. They're like, oh, this is the ghetto. You still have wars. You still have wars. This is the ghetto. Oh shit, there goes my light. But like, there's better ways of resolving things than this. Like, I don't know. Just for what it's worth. If you ever, if no one told you this today, I think you're important. I think you matter, and I love you. Thank you for watching. Call someone you love and tell them you love them. Let them know that you love them because tomorrow's never promised. Clearly, I know it's the present is called the present because it's whatever the fuck. It's a gift, but like the true gift is being able to see tomorrow, and a lot of people aren't and won't because of senseless conflict. It truly doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, you come into this world alone, you leave alone. So what the fuck does the land matter? I love you all. Be nice to one another. Even if you're not nice to me, be nice to each other. Because we need more of that in this world. Have a good night, Joander. And all of you, have a good night, okay? And hug those you love a little tighter today, okay? And Sky Blakely, leave Woke up. Girl, I can't. Enough. We'll see you guys when we see you. Enjoy. Follow if you haven't. Like, comment, subscribe. Unless I get to my buddy, or I would never have known this great discussion. Oh, thank you, an actual unicorn. Thank you. We're going to watch that video, by the way. We're going to watch that artistry video because we need to, because, geez. But yeah, I love you all. Don't ever let anybody else's bullshit stop you from being a good person, okay? It's the least we can do in this world. Just love on each other, okay? And if faced with it, always choose the high road. If you know what I mean. Bye, y'all. See you. Want to see you. Bye. And I'm going to end it on a restream. Bye, y'all.